Hey guys, welcome back to the panel. And what I can only describe as slowly becoming a some sort of, I don't know, like homage or like a chancel to Lucky the Dragon at this point. But yeah, on other news, we're still pretty keen on watching a particular game of Dota. That's
in other news, just in a side.
Yeah,
news
I feel like the panel has become basically a place to discuss funny things, or at least what things that we find funny.
Whatever we find on the desk.
And basic things that are on the desk.
Yeah.
And then on the side, we handle some topics about Dota 2. Yeah.
Just to fill it in, like fillers, right?
Just like, it's the episodes in that favorite series of yours that everyone just, I don't really need to watch this.
And then, oh, just by the way, this is happening.
But it is. I mean, this. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a shrine.
Yeah, it is quite.
Yeah.
Quite shrine-like. He's not in progress. He's just simply been updated. His ears currently, or his wings are currently ears now. He's changing. He's evolving into some sort of elephant.
Yeah.
So, why are we zooming? Okay,
it's
right.
Sort of a reindeer now, right?
I guess, but those are technically wings. So he's just confused. But he's still better than Reigns' version, so that's okay.
That's what you think. I don't think so.
It's an abomination.
Why are you in this?
Scorpion always has my back.
He does.
No, I just like to try, to be honest.
I don't think you had to try hard on that one. That is a fair assessment. Assessment. Okay, enough of this. Gentlemen, XTC versus Exdee. Now, Reddit would have you believe, of course, that this is a game that is going to be very one-sided and, of course, totally dominated by Exdee. I think Hunter may feel the same way. However, there's a couple of guys in the XTC booth which would beg to differ. So, what do you guys think? What is the likely outcome of this matchup?
I think I might be minority to say that XTC is going to win this 2-0. I can't be too sure. But with the Adestam team going on so strong lately at the second leg, I think they actually might have the chance.
I don't think you should be a minority, really. They are the stronger team. Let's not get that wrong by any means. I wanted an upset with Mythic, but I couldn't tell you we were going to get that one. I think the Pulse VNR game was really entertaining. This time I'm going to go with the underdogs. Yeah, we need an underdog story. We had Energy take one game off. I want a series win from an underdog.
So you think 2-1 or 2-0?
I'll go 2-0. I'll tell you one thing. I don't think if XD drop a game, they've lost the series. This is how I feel about it.
I see. I feel like you just gave yourself like a cop-out. Commit.
No. I commit to it. It's 2-0. They have to win game one. If not, then I've lost already.
Logic, right?
It's how it is. I just lost.
Right. Anyways, so I mean, what I'm really hoping for is something pretty special. Is the Meepo. What do you guys think the chances of us seeing the Meepo come out are?
Huge. I think this is, you got to win this, otherwise going into lowest brackets. And Meepo is what XD's Hunter is known for, especially in pubs. When you see Hunter, it's a good chance that he's going to pick the Meepo. So why not do it now? Just use the heroes that they're good at and try their best against XTC.
Yeah, I think they're not afraid to ban Meepo, though. I think people know that Hunter enjoys a good Meepo, and a Meepo can just ruin a game. So Adestam will not say, oh, this is an easy game. We just don't need to ban it. If they don't have heroes that can directly counter it in their mind, they might just ban it out. And I would love to see the Meepo. I've seen it multiple times with Hunter, and I've seen it fail, but I've seen it more likely than not work for them. So I would like to see it. And like I say, this is one of the matchups that they feel least comfortable with out of all the teams here. So I think it will be imperative for them to get that.
It's also pretty interesting. I mean, if you think about how Meepo sort of operates, it's a hero that demands a lot of resources and puts a lot of pressure on his own teammates, and the fact that he's going to be soaking up a lot of the jungle, sometimes multiple lanes at the same time. But he's also the kind of hero that comes online very quickly. And although I think Adestam has grown as a player in a big way, he's actually a player that had been fairly criticized in the past to almost commit to the 4 protects 1 strategy. So he is definitely a man who likes to rise. In fact, we were downstairs a little while, I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday, we were actually chatting about a comparison, I believe, between Adestam and Odu's Vengeful Spirit. And one of the comparisons made were actually about the timings in which the two started becoming more and more aggressive. And of course, Adestam was suggesting that he was aggressive from point 1, but it didn't seem to be the general consensus. So I'm wondering if that is still, there's probably still a bit of it where he still likes to get a little bit of extra farm in, and I'm wondering if that's the case where we'll find, potentially that Meepo could be particularly punishing towards Alistam. I feel like I was trying to ask you guys for analysis and just did it, but do you want to add anything to it?
Albert, the one-man show. Oh.
I would like to add one thing. I think the Meepo pick, right, you say it consumes the jungle, but the jungle's respawning every minute. I think he's going to be online quick enough, and he can really sort of look to use up the enemy's jungle at that time. It's just going to be good warding, and I mean, his twin brother is the guy who's planting the ward, so they have at least some sort of communication. They've grown up together, so it's important it will be important for them to get good warding in the enemy jungle, and he can consume that, and his team can still sort of be very viable in that sense.
A quick question: Do you have a brother, Scarpy?
No.
Reigns, do you have a brother?
Nope.
Oh, actually, because I can tell you that it doesn't work that way. That is not how brothers work. So I would in fact probably plant wards that would not assist my brother if we were, just like allow him to get ganked because it would be funny, and brothers do this to each other. So I don't know about that one.
And then you lose a major tournament because of it.
Yeah.
So worth. No, I think they're. I think we've seen in the past actually. Like once again, I referenced the Probane twins yesterday, but they didn't lane together. They actually played, I think it was mid in one position and off lane.
Yeah.
And that was probably they were at their most successful. So I think it's kind of interesting. I think that we have yet to find a brother pairing that I can think of that's really lane very well together. So it's going to be interesting to see if this can be the case. If we can find Fury and Hunter working along well together, or if somewhere down the line all of a sudden Fury's playing the roaming position or something.
I think he's always been the pos 5 for Hunter though, and he's always doing the drafting for the team. He's sort of also helps with the shot calls. I spoke to him about that because I know there's like a hybrid way of teams now sort of doing shot calls. As I say, they share the burden, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's a bit of a promise, especially when you're sort of new. So we'll see how that works out for them. But Fury has more often than not been the shot caller. He says now that a lot of that weight's been taken off him, he can focus on his game a lot more. And I think they synergize very well in lane. I think you have brothers, but you play different ages. They twins. I'm pretty sure if they get in a fist fight, it's an even fight. In your case, it's pretty one-sided, right?
I do, in fact, have an older brother.
It's one-sided for the older brother.
So it's pretty much better than me at everything. So it hasn't been great. So we are into the draft now. So I guess I can escape any more family questions. But okay, well, surprise, did you come on banned out immediately by XTC Gaming, and Exdee now have a chance to respond. I mean, I kind of feel like we've reached the point in our lives we can just expect there to be a Warlock. But I'm curious to know, I mean, we chatted a little about the likes of the Meepo. I kind of feel like a Meepo-Warlock combination actually works quite nicely.
Yeah, unfortunately, XTC is way ahead of you. Yeah, no, jokes aside, it's, as you said, it's very standard bans, and the fourth one, it could be Kotal, along the lines of that. But yeah, I'm excited. I want to see XT pick out a Meepo. First pick, even.
I think if XD lose this game, they first pick a Meepo.
They banned out the Shadow Fiend, which implies that a Meepo is a really good pick right now.
I think the Knights will go. The Io comes out.
Yeah, they're going to bristle back.
Nice, but
definitely.
We saw this last time. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. And there it is. Nice call, Scotty. Yeah. We actually saw them run this before. It's like pretty interesting because they almost seem to, I wouldn't say sack Hunter, but they give a lot of emphasis onto their offlaner for XD. It's almost like they try to fuel their victory via that channel. How did we reach this point?
I'm pretty sure Reddit wrote that. But you're exactly right. I actually spoke to them about this too. I had quite a bit of time with them yesterday, and they were saying, when they get this Bristleback IO combo especially, they don't mind sacking Hunter because they know the Bristleback lane is going to be won quite hard, and they have a lot of faith in Hunter to come back in the mid-game. He's very efficient at farming, so they sort of rely on that. And then I think the biggest key for XD, and someone who gets sort of bit aside, and he's probably the best skilled players, TKC. TKC dominated mid yesterday. Absolutely dominated it with his puck. His puck plays are insane, and it's something we should definitely keep an eye on.
Puck was picked when they picked this pair as well, and also having Hunter on the Juggernaut. I won't be surprised to see, as Scoppies mentioned, that they're going to pick a farming hero, create the minutes for him to farm up. He didn't do too well in the early game, but things can change. It's a very formidable opponent, XTC, so it's a very difficult early phase, I must say, again, for Hunter, but it's definitely possible that Bristleback and IO, they can get the early game in. But XTC is looking good. They've got Night Stalker in, the one hero that we're seeing quite a few times today, and also the Slaughter.
So in the previous incarnation of IO Bristleback, they had a CM support, correct? So effectively, if
It's the only hero that Fury plays.
right. So, but effectively, we could be looking at I mean, if we see it going this way. Ideally, they're looking at the puck. That's interesting. Do they ban the Meepo in this?
They actually noticed, respected it. We didn't talk about that, but there we go.
Yeah, I do feel that. Well, Dota and DotA are drafting now, but I think they draft as a team. I know they sat down and were talking this morning about what they're going to do against Exdee, and it's fair enough. They by all means show respect to the Meepo. It could be very scary. With the IO relocate very quickly in with the Bristleback, and your fights are in big trouble. So fair enough to have that respect. But I think XTC have got a pretty good opening here. They got two sort of slows with a Crush in between. Obviously, Crush having a bit of slow as well is quite a scary thing to go up against. So I wonder if they are going to either just sack the lane that's going up against the Bristleback, or if they are sort of going to try and be aggressive into it and kill that IO as much as possible.
Do you know what's really interesting, actually, when we have seen IO picked up, I mean, it hasn't been picked up much this tournament, but people haven't really like considered, like a serious counter to it. It's never been like okay, let's get the disruptor, send somebody home, that sort of thing. It's been more like, oh, we're going to play our game and then see what happens. But, I mean, there's one hero that I think is particularly good against the IO, or rather one style of hero, is when you get, sort of high mobility cores like Weaver, that sort of thing, that just make life very, very difficult for IO combinations to bring down. But in particular, since they actually like to pull up the Bristleback with the IO, something like a Weaver could actually work out really nice for them. They already have the anti-armor from the Slaughter, get the additional anti-armor from the Weaver, and then potentially, like you almost force the IO and Bristle combination to almost either ignore it, or to have to sort of like activate into this Crystal Maiden, or something like that, so they even get a chance of bringing down that Weaver.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that's not a bad idea at all. Another thing I want to point out, the ban on the Templar Assassin is definitely pointing in a direction here for me that they want to go for that puck again. Depi had a disgusting game on TA yesterday.
Yeah, can't forget that. Almost getting a rampage as well. That TA ban also implies they don't want any, armor reducing heroes, just to take down the Bristleback easier, I guess, because he is the space creator for Exdee Dota 2. And, so far it's great to see that XTC has, became broad with what they want to pick next, because now they can pick a support and have Exdee try to guess what they're going to still pick as their core heroes, right? So Adestam is safe with his picks so far because they focused on the Templar, they focused on Lifestealer, which Adestam played yesterday as well, and then the Shadowfiend's out. So Adestam, I think he has still has lots of variety to choose as a carry hero, but yeah, we'll wait and see for now. Reserve time being used quite a bit for XTC.
I mean, it's not. It's kind of curious. Like, they should have almost expected the CM, so it is interesting to take that long with the pick. But yeah, Ursa coming out now. I'm starting. This is when I start to get a little bit worried about drafts, right? I know this is like this age-old thing, but when you need to be careful and lock yourself in with too many melee. These are all good chasers in the sense that they can like initiate, but none of these heroes can lock somebody down for a particularly long period of time. I mean, you get the Slither and Crush, sure, they're slow on both the Night Stalker and the Ursa, and just the move speed of the Night Stalker is great, but there's no like hard disable, I guess you could call it. Yeah, they can like sit somebody down and can do consistent damage from range.
I think you make a very good point there. One of the things is XD are picking up puck now. I'm almost certain. And you got 3 melees. Puck's Dream Coil is just so good there. And TKC has just been on point majority of the time. So, yes, it's probably high risk, but I think they actually went for the Juggernaut, so they'll last pick puck more than likely. So this is almost exactly the same draft.
Yeah.
Unless the puck gets banned. And XTC, they got a lot of stats from Sargon this morning, and were looking into what XTC were picking, so they might actually ban out the puck here. And in that situation, I don't know, Reigns, do you have any idea what they will be looking for
I really
to
think
sort of control?
the puck is going to be the first choice. I mean, it worked out so well yesterday. I don't think that they are going to change into another mid-hero, especially not knowing what Depe is going to pick yet, right? So if XTC picks a carry, no, sorry, a support now, then they will say, maybe I will go for, the puck. But I think Depe is going to play tricks during this draft against XD, yeah. And right now, I think what XTC would do is to pick out the supports and wait it out. Let TKC pick his mid first before he goes for his.
I just want to point out that do you think it's weird that, like, we picked this up at IO. Like, we've literally called this draft at IO. There's no ways XC don't know this themselves. I'm wondering if they're not, like, take those heroes. Because, I mean, there still hasn't been the response to puck yet. And I was just wondering if they haven't telegraphed this. And they're sitting here waiting for it and saying, cool, now activate plan CETA or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I think they should have a decent idea. And one thing is, Ursa's actually a pretty good pick into Bristleback. He can even potentially get Silver's Edge if necessary and just destroy Bristleback very quickly in the team fights. The Night Stalker plus the Slardar can easily catch out an IO. Jakira is also very good at setting it up. So I think XTC are very aware of what's coming. Death Prophet being banned out now. We've seen a lot of emphasis on Death Prophet. But I think XTC should have a plan coming into this game up against this draft in particular.
Death Prophet would have been a really good hero for XTC. They lacked the magic damage, and she's perfect for it, even as a mid-hero. But with that out, banning out Lina. So I think XTC, as you said, knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, Puck is just is good into Invoker as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
And a curveball has been delivered.
Yeah.
The unexpected. Very unexpected. Actually, with this, I don't know, we might even see a Bristleback in IO mid lane against an Invoker.
So, it does look like players will just be ringing up for a little while longer. But, gentlemen, this is really interesting. Like, a PA against an Invoker is a lot better than a Puck versus Invoker over time. I mean, you're going to expect your Puck to sort of dominate or do well at level 5.
Yeah.
But it's quite, I don't know, like you can just smash an Invoker with a Stifling Dagger over and over and over again. And if you get any sort of ganks into lane, you can make his life very challenging. Yeah,
I think they threw a nice curveball in there. So they were probably expecting the Puck. They know that Depi can probably contest TKC's Puck in mid, even though it's an advantage until a certain period of time, and then Invoker's able to come back in. So that makes a lot of sense. And the more I think about it now, a reason not to pick Puck is you might be dealing with these long extended silences that come out from Night Stalker at night time. So that could be a very good reason why they also didn't pick up the Puck.
But then again, I mean, we say this, but it's not like this is one-way traffic. I mean, Invoker can get on top of a PA and pretty much ruin his life, her life, pretty easily as well. Yeah. So I don't know. It's really interesting. But I mean, look at the XE squad. I mean, you can see. I believe that's the Fury brother. Looks they're sitting the opposite side of the booth.
They did this to mess with you, man. That's Fury though.
Yeah, that is Fury. You can tell by the slightly shorter hair on the sides or something. I don't know. They're twins, but they look pretty happy. That's what I'm taking out of that booth. They're looking like the draft has gone their way.
I think they are pretty confident about the draft. You know, they were good yesterday with the Puck's draft, but against what XTC has, the PA might come out even better. And now with that expectation, this means that Invoker might struggle a little bit. I'm not saying he will, but he might. Because in early game, PA might have the upper hand, taking the last hits. Having rotations from the Crystal Maiden as well could help a lot as well. Getting the stun in and then try to get try to spam the daggers as much as possible. And then just have the Bristleback still dominate the hard lane. And I think that could work out for XD. But XTC has a very good draft in hand. They have the Slardar, they have the Night Stalker. That's, I think will be very influential for the team. And then let's not forget the Adestam Ursa.
Yeah. Also, really tanky lineup, right?
Yeah.
I mean, other than Invoker, who's not, I wouldn't exactly call a squishy hero. It's just not a particularly tanky hero. All those other heroes are naturally tanky. I mean, Jakira used to be picked up because it was a tanky hero, effectively. I feel like now it's evolved into something a little bit more interesting. But think it is quite something. So, I mean, I guess I'm not going to let you guys change. The panel pretty much Jabba, Scorpy.
2-0, XD.
Yep. And
Even me, XD 2-0. Sorry, XTC 2-0.
right. On that note,
That was close.
and
XTC.
you see,
Saved
there's a lot of
myself.
slip-ups happening here. And on that note,
Yeah.
I can actually introduce the casters who do include Jabba this time around. So, Jabba and Succubus, please take it away.
Well, good afternoon and welcome back. This is going to be another amazing matchup of XD Gaming versus XTC. It is going to be a big one as both teams are going to try to go head to head. It has been rather an exciting day so far. I am Jabba, joined by the lovely Succubus.
Hello, Jabba. Yes, it's going to be definitely an exciting match, and obviously, it's a lot of pressure on XD to win this.
Well, the draft is going to be very similar to what we saw yesterday. A little bit of a change up with the PA going mid as opposed to the puck.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to turn things around here?
It's interesting. It's a bit risky against an Invoker, but the draft that they did is almost pick for pick the same that they did versus VNR. I just think that XTC is not going to do what VNR did. They're not going to focus the bristle. They're just going to focus your supports and get to them. And look, they've got heroes to do that. They've got the Slardar. They've got the Night Stalker, amazing against that type of thing. And of course, Deppy on this beautiful Invoker. They've got so much catch for these supports. So Bristle, I think they're just going to completely avoid him until they've taken down the supports.
Right, well, that is a little bit of an input before the game. Let's go around and make the introductions. On the side of the Radiant, give it up for the side of XD. We have got Jappa playing our tanky little bristleback. In the mid lane, we have got TKC playing the Phantom Assassin. On our IO, we have got Rockley, played an amazing pudge yesterday. Actually made me really ill to actually watch the pudge, but this time round, he's going to be on that IO. We have got Fury playing the Crystal Maiden, did some amazing work yesterday,
Oh,
got
yes, he
some
did.
amazing freezing fields off. And last but not least, it is going to be the Hunter playing the Juggernaut. I don't know if I should introduce him as the Hunter Dog or just Hunter.
Or as Cosmo likes to call him, 4K. Hunter Dog. Shame, man. He's been taking a lot of flack this weekend.
I like the boys. I've met them. I've had the
Yeah.
opportunity to chat to them, and they're really, really good eggs. But to take it away for the side of XTC,
XTC, we're going to have Dota and Die on that amazing Slardar. Going to have a pretty tough lane there against that Bristleback. Bristleback's just going to get absolutely decimated against this. Ursa into Dota and Die. This actually is probably going to be your first blood. Easy, 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 easy. Leveling up that dual breath. Nice movement slow. It's going to let the Ursa catch up to him. Nice timing on that Slytherin Crush as well. Moving on to Adastum on the carry. Followed by Deppy on that. Beautiful, beautiful invoker. I love this hero. Doom Bunny to follow on that Jakiro and Skynet. I mean, guys, I don't know. We obviously had the players change their names, but he was taking a bash at Reddit earlier and he named himself Scarnet. So that was hilarious. Shame. Poor Reddit. He's going to catch flag for that. But we have Skynet here on the off lane on this Night Stalker, and it's going to be really, really important for him to get his levels here.
well, we've seen so far in the previous draft that a couple of Night Stalkers are starting to be picked up. Previously, Ian tried it against WRG. Didn't fare as well as we would think, but this time around, XTC deciding to try and see if the Batman can actually make something happen.
It's Batman. You have to have faith in Batman.
You know, I'm a Superman fan, man.
Yeah, you're a Superman fan. I like my Batman. I've got a Batman t-shirt and everything, man. But anyway, jokes aside, in all seriousness, he should be doing relatively well in this lane. As soon as the first nighttime falls, I'm sure he can move out and maybe rotating gank. Even the support's rotating to him. We can maybe see a nice little kill on this Juggernaut. But Juggernaut Crystal Maiden, classic pub combo.
Well, just looking here in the top lane, Dota and Dark being a little bit risque, jumping into the Radiant side of the jungle, just trying to stop what Jappa was trying to stack the creeps, trying to just get that little bit of farm build up for him. If it ever came to that point, he could always just return to the jungle. Didn't happen. He did go down as first blood, so not having the easiest lane. And Ursa, he eats through that armor of the Bristleback.
Yes, he really does. And the problem with the Bristleback now is There we go. See, that is a problem. He gets slowed down by the Jakiro, the liquid fire comes down, and DotA and DI just gets the easiest slither and crush off on him. They're going to have to get the early magic sticks just to be able to spam this much in lane, but I'm sure once Bristleback starts getting up those levels, he can pretty much contest it, but against the Ursa, it's not a favorable matchup at all, and he's not receiving any help. One thing that once the IO stops looking after TKC in the mid-year, just for the first couple of levels, he can go and rotate and help the Bristleback out, because that's why you pick it, right? You pick the Brits. I mean, the Bristleback IO combo worked out so well for them yesterday. I mean, they were wrecking with this.
Yeah, it was a very, very strong draft, although in all fairness, TKC really got them to the late game.
Yeah,
So
really did.
it
That puck of
gave-
his.
It really did give Hunter and Jappa the opportunity to actually get to the point where they could actually start mattering to the game. So TKC going to see if he can actually get the same job done this time around playing the PA. Maybe it's going to be good enough. I mean, PAs take quite a bit of magic damage, and we know Invoker, he spits it out in
Yeah.
volleys.
Look, she's got quite a high armor, but the problem is, like you said, is the magic damage, and there's a lot to go around with an Invoker. But, you know, what's also really, really sad is that they forced Jappa, you now playing
Yeah.
for XD.
Well, it's actually a joke amongst the squad. They actually called Jappa Jabba. They actually told me outside that they actually called Jappa. I'm like, respect, bro.
Respect, bro. But yeah, anyway, they forced him into this jungle now. And look, it's relatively his only option. I mean, at the moment, he's going to go back and then he's literally just going to die. So he's going to get a little bit less XP for this and obviously less levels going here in the off lane. He's not going to be able to sustain it. But as we say that, there's a huge rotation mid here. Rockley as well as Fury into the mid with TKC. Looks like Skynet tried to pull off a gank, but it's not successful. Rotations were just too good.
Well, Skynet may not give up. He does find Fury, throws out the Void. And I think that's going to be it. Beautiful rotations coming out from both teams, kind of putting it into a stalemate. And both teams just kind of go back to doing their own little shenanigans.
And it does look like Hunter is actually faring pretty well. He's sitting at 23 for 11. So, I mean, he's been had some breathing room. It has been a relatively easy lane for him against the Night Stalker, having that Crystal Maiden to back him up. But I must say, one person that is getting left uncontested and is actually really good against the Jug is that Ursa. I mean,
Well,
he just pops his ulti, that enrage, and he takes pretty much no damage from that slash. So. Yeah, and if he gets onto Hunter, he can easily take care of him through spin. I mean, he's going for the phase boots. We'll have the blink dagger eventually as well. I think it's an easy kill for an Ursa, especially if he gets silenced up by the Skynet.
Well, what I'm looking at is Adestam's pretty much going uncontested, but TKC still doing really well against the Invoke. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
PA is sitting 38 and 14. Adestam pretty much uncontested, sitting 37 and 14.
Well,
So mid lane's going really well here
Let's
for the
be
side
fair.
of XD.
let's be fair. He's had a lot of help from Old Man Rockley.
Yes, no.
He's had a lot of help. TKC, I mean, yes, there was a rotation mid, but that's only when they tried to gank Deppy. Then now Doom Bunny is now rotated in as well, just to help out this Invoker. But in the beginning of the lane, just to give TKC the advantage, obviously that IO is going to be there for him. And yeah, it's you need that help. In melee versus range, you almost definitely need help in the lane. But TKC, as you said, doing fairly well. But we do see a nice little rotation here. They're not going to find anyone. Just this aggressive warding coming out here from XTC. One by the shrine, one right under the tower. They are out for blood. They're just securing the lane push, I guess. So they can stop anyone who tries to contest them in this. They just want to take these early towers. And they can with the liquid fire. And of course, level 2 overpower and Fury swipes almost max now. Pretty easy for them.
Well, you know what I'm really worried about is Bristlebacks don't really do too well playing from behind. I mean, neither does an Ursa, and Ursa's gotten off to an amazing start. The Bristleback, not so much, and for him to try and catch up and to be that tank monster that you need to frontline it is going to be really difficult. But mid lane, TKC could be in a little bit of trouble here. He actually does get silenced out. They do bring in Doom Bunny. We do have Rockley keeping TKC alive. He is a walking fountain, but Skynet may be able to just bring down the...
Deppy,
yeah,
unfortunately,
it's not going to happen.
Unfortunately, Deppy does not have enough mana for the Sunstrike. It is there, it is invoked, but
Oh,
unfortunately,
he's
just not enough mana for that, because he could have easily gotten a kill on either Rockley or TKC there. But now they take the return.
They drop down the slow from the CM. Deppy going down. Beautiful little turnabout there, having that salve peeling up onto the Rockley, allowing TKC to get involved. But one Void, and maybe a little bit of a problem here. Silenced up, Rockley going to keep his PA alive. doing some good work there, Mr. Rockley. TKC walking away with the kill and with his life.
These supports, I mean, Rockley has been an absolute beast on this IO. Yesterday he proved himself. Today he's proving himself even more. And I mean, Fury's positioning as well, I can't fault that. I mean, he was in position against the Void nonetheless. In the last game he played a Crystal Maiden, and I mean, he wasn't caught in chrono, not even once in that game. And now they decide to go into Doom Bunny here. No chance of survival.
No, Fury picks himself up a pretty easy kill, drops the Frostbite. You going nowhere, buddy. He picked up invisibility, but obviously the root reveals him, and he's not able to walk it off, and he goes down.
It does go down fairly easily. Yeah, Jakira getting caught out. I mean, he's not exactly mobile. He's got a 335 movement speed with boots, so he's not getting out of that, especially with a Crystal Maiden Frostbite. Skynet, I mean, Hunter's actually doing pretty well here, it must be said.
Let's just have a look at his uniform here. It looks like he's actually wearing a Calyptry. Now, for those of you that don't know what a Calyptry is, it is a veil worn by a Greek woman. He does get the Blade Fury off, trying to do a little bit of work here. And the Nightstalk, he's going to just TP out. How cool was that little vision there for Yokes?
Definitely.
But he does TP out. And Skynet, he just gets back to base.
Well, as we talk about the Juggernaut, and of course the Crystal Maiden, right? Classic pub combo. It seems like they're joined at the hip. It's pretty much an axorial type of relationship, isn't it? I mean, you can call the Crystal Maiden his wife because he's so often in a lane with this woman.
It is one of those one of those perfect relationships that just works so well.
Yes, it
Constantly it gives mana to the rest of the team. The Arcane Aura, Frostbite keeps him rooted up.
The Ice Queen and the Greek God. It's such a perfect combo, isn't it?
No, but I kind of did insult the Jugger by calling him a Greek goddess.
Yeah, you told him he's wearing a skirt, but you know, he is wearing a skirt, so you can't fault that. Skynet, though, getting those levels up, he's now level 6, almost level 7. This could be the turning point. I mean, Adasim almost with that Blink Dagger, gone for the lifesteal. So going to take some rushings, sneaky rushings. There was a smoke on the Jakira, and I believe he did use it. No, he didn't. So did Adasim just casually walk into rush? This is dangerous. This is a 10-minute rush, guys, and we've Skynet, as we said, Skynet is about to drop to Hunter. Hunter, though, running away, hasn't got the healing water.
From Deppy. Picking up that beautiful little kill there, Fury not being able to do anything. And forgetting about that Sunstrike from Deppy, just comes out, cleans out the Jugger. And Hunter is not going to be happy with that one. Although he did bring down the Nightstalker, the Batman.
The Batman himself.
The Samurai versus the Batman. Ra's al Ghul versus the Batman.
Yeah, definitely.
Did I just create something here?
Yeah. Space created. We'll give that to you. Space created.
Yes, please.
But, I mean, TKC, just being left his own device here, almost has that all-important extra aura team item. You know, I'm actually surprised to see that they're still building the Vlads onto this hero. Yes, Vlads is an amazing early game item. It gives your team like 15 damage. The aura is nice. The passive lifesteal for everyone. And I suppose you do have 3 melee heroes, so Vlads is really good. But, you know, I would still want to see a Satanic, you know, Desolator PA.
Deso.
Like, it's just something that we thought would be exploited since, you know, the new patch, making Desolator no longer a unique attack modifier, but it doesn't seem like people are starting to go for that build just yet. Maybe just doing the comfortable builds.
I think it will get there. I think the biggest concern is TKC needs to start lifting a couple of weights in the early part of the game. And he probably feels that Vlad's picking up the Vlads, he can maybe go toe-to-toe against the Ursa. He does have the missed chance. He's only leveled it up once, but he's only got 1 point in it. So maybe he just wants to make sure that if they decide to actually engage, the Ursa is not going to be completely a threat.
Yeah, but I mean, the Fury swipes into the Corrosive Haze is also really not going to be fun, especially for Hunter. He can't spin out of it. He can't do anything about this. Silenced up as well, doing so much damage as Skynet. It is the nighttime. They should be able to get this kill, but Fury is there. TP rotations are coming in.
Can they actually keep him alive? Sunstrike is going to knock him down, but TKC does rock up to the party. Fury, can he get the frost off? Is he going to be able to freeze him? Not going to be mad at as TKC eradicates him. Edistam rocks up to the party. and it is going to be a disaster. Skynet, he's trapped in the bushes, eats the trees, tries to get out.
Help!
And TKC going to actually make a play here onto Skynet. Alistair blinks in, is revealed. And now let the death ball begin,
Damn.
known as that fuzzy, wuzzy, Ursa Blixemsever.
What is evasion? What is evasion when a Dastum is attacking you? RNG just wasn't with them there.
No,
I
unfortunately
mean,
it wasn't.
but then again, you have to think. Okay, well, Blur is only at level 1 at the moment, so it's only 20%.
It's not enough. It's not
It's
enough
not
yet.
enough.
I mean, I think he's going to start having a couple of extra points in it. He's actually chosen to max out his blink first, and not actually put any points into his blur. So he's got a couple of levels to go before he can actually take a little bit of damage. But let us not forget, crippling fear. Actually, if I remember, takes away evasion. Am I correct?
Excuse me?
The crippling fear from the Batman, does it actually take away evasion, or does it give the enemy a mischance? Just
Yeah, it causes an enemy hero causing it to miss on attacks. So, but it's a silence as well as them being missed. But I don't believe that it makes you miss.
okay, so it makes the hero
it's a
that you
night
put it
chance
on
miss.
to
It's better at
actually-
night. Yeah,
Okay.
night chance miss is about 50%, where the daytime miss chance is only 10%. So. Yeah, it's definitely there, but it's not going to make the sorry.
Oh, Adestam, he's
Hold on,
deep. Can you
hold on.
find Rock Lee? He doesn't.
He does not know.
He is alone.
He's
so
trying to make something happen with this rush. I mean, they were able to take the tier 1 tower mid as well as top and bottom. So XTC opening up the map for themselves, and this is really important for a Night Stalker, just to have more of the map space, and it's also really dangerous for them and for XD at the same time. You need the map for, like, your tower is basically are your guard point, especially against a Night Stalker. You don't want to be compressed into the side of the map because your vision is impaired. Oh my word, that was just completely blown.
I actually have no words for that.
That IO, it looked like a creep.
I think what we're going to do for the Arcana, for the Wisp, is to actually put him into a 2-2 because he dropped very quick.
You want to give Whisper Tutu.
I want to give Whisper 2-2.
You want to give Whisper Tutu. What about Crystal Maiden, man? She seems like more the ballerina type.
No, she's more of the rock and roll kind of chick. So I would maybe. Oh, but she gets
Fury!
spotted out. And Fury goes down. Adestam on this blink is absolutely frightening. I mean, earlier he was actually sitting in the bot lane, not even threatened for a second.
This the Wisp and, of course, the Crystal Maiden are just food to this Ursa. I mean, you have that in conjunction with the Slaughter. It's the easiest pick-offs on these supports of his life.
Could this be the first halberd of the event?
No, the first halberd of the event was actually on Chadawi.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I did miss that one. So he brought up the Heavens Halberd. It has gotten really strong after this update, making a real comeback. And Skynet trying to actually make a play onto Mr. Rock Lee. Sunstrike going to actually be shared between Fury, and he's going to still go down, but Fury gets out. Rock Lee did go down. And the Sunstrike just gives so much kill potential. You got the blink.
Especially against these squishy heroes, and a PA is so susceptible to magic nuke. It's just brilliant.
Well, let's go back and take a look at that.
Before we do
replay.
that, Jappa's in a lot of trouble here, just dropping solo. Dota and Diana Dassim just
Jappa.
everywhere on this
And he's
map.
so far behind already. It just makes it so difficult for him to get ahead.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that
Fury
Fury
kill.
kill, and then maybe we can even then we can get back into the game.
Quick and easy. I mean, that was. I don't think it was even a 2-second, and he was dead.
Yeah.
Not quite as fast as the IO kill, though. I mean, poor old man Rockley just absolutely melted. He didn't even have time to react to that. But as we have a little bit of a pause in the game, why don't we just take a look at the stats, the graphs, see where we're sitting at the moment?
Right. Well, we are currently looking at our net worth at the moment. Adestam sitting at a whopping 9K, top of the leaderboard. Deppy or Derpy. We actually made a joke about it the other day because I kept on pronouncing him as Derpy. So I said I'm going to continue calling him Derpy. Even though his name is actually Deppy, or one of the strong players here for the side of XTC. He's sitting second on the log, then followed by TKC, doing very well in his own right, then followed up by Hunter Dog on 6.2. Looking at the graphs, we can see things are looking really bad here for the side of Exdee, We're looking at almost a 9K advantage here for the side of XTC. And network... cancel that, pressing buttons here. In terms of experience, we're sitting at around about almost 8K here for the side of XTC.
That's quite devastating at 17 minutes, to be honest.
Yeah,
That net worth and gold lead, experience lead as well. Experience is really, really important this patch.
17 minutes into the game,
Yeah.
Adestam's already got himself his own Vlads, his team his own Vlads, he's got himself the Blink phase boots. He's an actual nightmare currently to have on the field.
Look, I mean, Exdee in the meantime, while we were doing that, they were taking the ancient stack in the bottom as well as now in the top lane. And first, the first ancient stack went to the bristleback. The second one is going to TKC. Killing spree. Oh no, Hunter.
Oh, he got caught out there. Doom Bunny in the sidelines, drops the path. Adestam finishes him up.
Oh,
and
that
then,
is dirty, Adestam. That is so dirty. He's gone for the Shadow Blade, but it makes a lot of sense. He needs that silver edge to just proc out once. Once, you know, TKC starts leveling up that blur, he's going to need that silver edge. And it's going to be just in time. It's still at level 1, still on a 20% mischance. Evasion, sorry. Still on 20% evasion, but she's going to start leveling it up very, very soon. And he's going to need that silver edge to cancel out the blur. So, very understandable pick.
The question is there going to be enough time here for the side of Exdee to actually get themselves into the game?
I don't think so. XTC are not giving them any space. They are basically just snowballing and not you know, backing out here. They are extremely strong at this point. I don't think that Exdee can viably actually defend here.
Well, we do. You know what we saw is TKC's puck was really good, had a lot of control. For the side of Exdee, they don't have a lot of control. I mean, they've got the Crystal Maiden. Other than that, they have nothing to really deal with the Ursa. I mean, they've got the lockdown in terms of the Frostbite. But then, as soon as they jump into Adestam, you've got the Frost, the Ice Path coming out from Jakuru that is just going to cause an absolute nightmare.
It
and
is.
Top tier 3 tower taken pretty easily. Jappa now wants to make a move. Ice Wall is down. We've got Jappa being silenced out. Ice Path comes down. Doom Bunny trying to TP out.
Oh,
Can he make it happen?
Oh my word, he does it!
Oh my god, that is so unfair. So they pretty much get a tier 3 tower for free.
Wow. It's not just that, like, I mean, he accepted his fate. The rest of the team ran off. It's like, okay, I'm going to die here, guys. You know, get out. Don't sacrifice any of our other players. And he ends up TPing out of that.
It feels like I was watching
Where?
Oprah Winfrey. Free life for you. Free TP for you.
That
gets
early
out.
Ghost Scepter pickup, much worth. Much worth.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he also does take extra damage from the CM if she's there.
Yeah, I know,
So-
but I mean, they already used it. They already used the Frostbite. They had nothing else to cancel. You know, they have the Omni Slash, but I mean, it doesn't do anything when you have the Ghost Scepter. So, I mean, once he saw his opportunity, okay, boys, Ghost Scepter, TP, let's try and make it out of here.
Yeah, that is super scary. And just look at this deep ward here coming in from the side of XTC. I mean, look at this. They know exactly what's happening. Another ward over here, so they know all the movements, all the rotations coming out here for the side of XD.
Yeah.
Adestam, he is actually invised up. Fury spots him out. Random dust. Adestam, he does actually try and get himself out of there, and he's going to try and just right-click down Hunter. It's not going to happen. Blade Fury, they do drop the freezing field, and we do finally get the kill on Adestam, but the IO being slowed out, not going to be able to connect with the Sunstrike, and now another Frostbite up onto Doom Bunny, holding him in place. Skynet turning around onto Hunter. Can he get himself out of there? Doesn't have the healing ward, and Jappa trying to get some work done here. Going to focus
no way,
down
he's
Doom
gonna do
Bunny,
it again,
and
really?
he's just going to be able to TP out, but Rock Lee surviving on very, very
low
little
HP.
HP. And
Yeah.
TKC, you need to back out of here. Don't force your team into another fight. And
Well, they actually could have forced the fight now, since you know that they were on pretty low HP, but it all got the whole lot of dodge. I mean, a Dustin dropping is not nice, but not losing anyone else. It's bad losing your carry, but they didn't lose anyone else. But unfortunately, though, Deppy's Sunstrike just missing by a thin little margin there onto Rockley.
that would have been an absolute changer.
Yeah, it was literally like. I want to say like maybe a millimeter away from hitting. It's just really unlucky.
And it was actually the void from the Batman that actually stopped him from actually landing into the Sunstrike. So he slowed him down enough that Rockley was actually prevented from actually going in there. So not the best play from the Night Stalker, but at the same time, Deppy not actually communicating and say, listen boys, I'm going to Sunstrike that flippin' IO, make it happen, and they don't. So XTC, they're going to actually just settle for the Shrine at the moment. They do actually de-ward out that ward that was actually sitting there. Does get
Just-
pinged out.
I feel like Doom Bunny is getting away with absolute murder on the Shakiro as well. He's getting out when he should not get out. I mean, of course, okay, Fury was quite behind because he was getting gone on. He had to quickly get out, had no mana left. He had to regen quickly up with his Tranquil Boots, but
It's going to keep happening until Hunter picks up an Abyssal, or at least the PA picks up an Abyssal. It's not going to happen.
this is where I'm sure Rockley's saying, my gosh, I really just wish I still had a stun on my tether. Instead of
well,
this-
get to level 25, buddy, and then you'll have one. And he
Yeah.
is nowhere near that.
No,
at the
no, no.
moment.
I don't think we'll ever see a level 25 IO unless it goes to like 70 or 80 minutes. But even then, it's really hard to get level 25 on this IO.
Sunstruck.
But yeah, I do like that little change though, because that's what made IO so strong, is the fact that it could cancel TP with tether, and they took that away, and you didn't see IO picks anymore. But now that this level 25 talent is here, who knows? Maybe we see the Dendy mid IO again. Remember that?
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. I mean, there's also been a lot of like weird heroes that people have been sticking into the mid lane. I mean, I would have expected to see a lot more Silencer, a lot more Slark, you know, those kind of heroes that, I mean, you pick up the Night Stalker with his Crippling Fear, the Silencer with Ags is going to be able to right-click a lot harder. Skyroth Mage, you know, you just can right-click a lot harder. Slark as well, I would expect to see him. I mean, Lena, she's getting quite a bit of respect as well, either being picked or banned. So, a couple of heroes that we like start theory crafting and say, guys, okay, well, this meta is going to go to this
It's gonna
kind
go
of
mad,
gameplay. And we haven't seen it. Sven was one of the ones that we thought was going to come back. It has.
It's really falling off though. People are just maybe not playing it right.
I think it comes down to the performance of your supports. I mean, can they stack the jungle? And I mean, we saw the game with WRG picked up the Sven, I think, in the previous
It worked.
series.
It worked.
And it worked because the supports were actually getting the jungle stacked. Sven could go jump into the jungle, clear them really quickly,
Yeah.
and
He
get
was-
himself those
He
quick
was pretty
items.
much 6 slotted at 35 minutes, so did a very good job on that. But yeah, I mean, XD pretty much starving the map here for XD, and this is just really unfortunate for them. It really, really is. I mean, Jappa's still nowhere near where he needs to be. There is the full Silver Edge onto Adasta now as well, so he can either cancel out Bristleback or PA's passive here
Oh,
very
look-
easily.
Look how spread out they are. So even if they do go on a hero, Fury can't get like an almost 5-man freezing field. And look at this, another aggressive high heel ward here. Completely identifying the movements and rotations from XD.
Yeah, I mean, XD won against VNR pretty convincingly with this draft. The only difference was they had a puck instead of a PA, but Bristleback IO just did something special for them. And this, I mean, Jappa's just not on the same level that he was against VNR here, but they might get Doom Bunny here. Maybe going to get away. No, not
there we
this
go.
time.
Fury says, flip you boys. Picks
Oh,
up the
but he gets
frostbite by Deppy.
sunstriked. Oh, no.
But Deppy makes magic happen. I mean, how much HP was CM actually on? Because, I mean, that was
I don't
quite a
think
bit.
Ah.
Adestam trying to find Jappa here. He's actually taking quite a bit of cool spray stacks. DotA2, he doesn't want to give up. He's trying to chase down Jappa. He has actually been hazed up. Adestam hitting him from the front. And he says, if I'm going to take you down, I'm going to look in your eyes, my boy. Oh, Sunstrike, Rockley. He does miss it, but now DotA2 jumps in, gets it off. TKC trying to engage, decides better of it, and gets himself out of there.
No, I mean, at least Ghost Scepter, I mean, you can't evade spin, and you definitely cannot evade the roots, but Doom Bunny not getting away with that trick again. Definitely not. But yeah, as we were saying, I mean, this draft worked out so nicely for them against VNR, but I really, as I said in the beginning, I don't think XTC is going to fall for the same trap. They're not going to focus the Bristle. They're going to take down the supports.
No, well, I mean, it's... you know, it's getting to the point, like, I mean, what do they have to actually control? Oh, Beckett coming up into Deppy. This could be jump time.
Well, they do have Heaven's Halberd now on Jappa, so that could help out quite a bit against this Ursa because, I mean, Fury's not really been able to get it onto the Ursa so far. He's been having to focus on other heroes or just getting silenced down or just killed outright.
Well, DotA2 jumps in, slows down Jappa. Skynet jumping over the edge. Fury going to get right-click to hell. He's going to get tornadoed up, but he's not going to go down just yet. Going to use the shrine to heal him up. Arspath in the background, hunting a little bit of a precarious position. Adestam going to right-click him down. He's going to go down, but so does Adestam. We do get the bar back on Hunter.
No.
Deppy, he's taking quite a bit of damage here. Fury trying to beat him down. Hunter gonna just Blade Fury Deppy away casually. Aegis is down on the deck. They do lose Skynet. And now the Omni Slash solo onto Doom Bunny. The wrong target as she just grows Scepters up. Jappa, oh my gosh,
Ooh, that
TKC with a
crit.
massive crit. And Sunstrike is not going to connect. And now Deppy, he's just going to Ghost Walk, TP out.
That Deso making a huge difference on the
Fury
PA since she picked it up.
almost,
Those
yeah.
crits are just coming more often and more often. And she's almost got a BKB up, but unfortunately, she doesn't have enough to get the BKB and still have buyback. It's going to have to wait just a little bit longer for that BKB. But yeah, I mean, very, very good plays there coming in from Exdee. Nice defense, but unfortunately...
Good hold, very
yeah,
good
very
hold.
good hold. Yes, they got the first kill on Adastum there, but I mean, Fury's ulti on the Crystal Maiden kind of didn't hit anyone else, and it went for on full duration. So I think if Fury just stepped a little bit more forward, he could have done massive amounts of damage there. It's just unfortunate that he had the full duration CM ulti, and they just kind of, went, okay, we're just going to step out of it then. They didn't have the other lockdown to, secure that. But, very, very well high ground defended. Very, very good.
I actually wanted to show you guys something. Is Skynet has now got his Aghanims. It is night time. Please just look
Indeed.
at the vision around the map. He does know that Fury is in the vicinity.
It is just ridiculous, and it's
I
so
mean-
annoying to play against. Oh, he's a flying bat. He's a flying bat.
Look at the vision. Fury in a huge amount of trouble. Sunstrike is going to connect, but Adastam says,
He dies
no,
before
that is
Sunstrike.
mine. They're going to get the Tornado up onto Rock Lee. Clears him out as well. Adastam picking himself up a double kill.
See, this is the problem with you don't have any vision. You think you're safe, but you're not. But also, it is extremely dangerous for those supports to be this far out of the map. I know they want to go ward the map, but it is really dangerous to be outside this far when you haven't got any towers and you've got limited vision because it's nighttime. Stay in your base. You're going to die. Stay in your base. You can't see them coming. And we got a cheeky
Oh,
nice...
DotA2 dives deep. Adastam, he's going to clean him out. TKC is down. The defenses here for the side of Exdee looking very thin. They drop down the Macropire, just trying to create a little bit of space here. The Deppy's going to right-click down the tower. The rest of the team is hiding behind him. And they're going to get the bottom lane of Rax. Can they make it a second? And
I think it's very possible. PA still down for 33 seconds. She opted to go for the BKB instead of save for buyback. Maybe a huge mistake here.
Hunter trying to push them back. Healing Ward is still up. And the side of XTC may want to look at pushing up high ground. They do not have the Aegis. The Rosh is not up. But they do still have TKC down for 16 seconds. If they want to make a play, this is the opportunity. Two-man crush. Catching out Rock Lee. Now Hunter, Fury trying to get themselves out of there. You hear the roar from the bear coming alive. Deppy, he's going to have to just back off as the Omni Slash goes on to 5. Splitting that damage. Ice Path comes down. Going to stun out Hunter. And I mean, the perfect little setup. They're going to have to actually slow him down. And Hunter not being able to do as much damage as he hoped. And Hunter's really struggling over here. He's not even got his diff blade just yet.
And leaving that base absolutely wrecked. Not only did they take a Rax, but they did manage to get the mid-tier 1 tower down to 49 HP.
I mean, look how hard it is here for the side of XD. I mean, if you look core versus core, Adastam sitting with your Silver's Edge, your Blink Dagger, Phase Boots. He's got 2 javelins in the backpack.
Almost MKB as well.
Almost the MKB. You look at the opposing core,
Yeah,
and
he's pretty
Hunter,
farmed.
Hunter, the opposing core,
He's almost got nothing, eh?
yeah, well, he doesn't have much.
He's got-
Jappa has at least got the Heaven's Halberd, can maybe do something to actually stop Adastam from being such a nuisance. And with the new upgrade to the Javelin, not going to be able to actually BKB it off. So if he can cast the Heaven's Halberd before he casts Spell Immunity,
Yeah, but I mean, Adastam's not even worried about BKB at this point. He's not even going for it. It's not even like a thought in his brain at the moment. So, I mean, Heaven's Halberd's still very effective, but also Fury's Frostbite is also going to stop him from attacking. But like I said, Fury hasn't had the option to do that for his team. He's always had to stop the Night Stalker or stop someone else. He hasn't had the chance to actually Frostbite this this Ursa.
well, they pinging out TKC. Skynet wants it. He wants the TKC. Can we get a TKO? As Jappa is going to try, he's just going to actually try and play a bit of a body block. 2-man Slytherin Crush down onto the 2 heroes here for the side of XD. Fury bites the dust. And Sunstrike coming out again. It's slowed down enough for Adastam to actually pick up the kill there. We do get the buyback from Fury. And now XTC looking to breach high ground. We do get the force staff in there into Ice Path. The macro fire is not available. Jimmy's on the deck. Rockley's going to bite the dust. Fury trying to just ulti up. Not going to happen as Adestam once more has been disarmed, but it's off cooldown. And now Sunstrike coming in. Got to take a little bit of damage there. Jap a little bit of a tank at the moment.
Those stacks.
And Adestam on an ultra kill. Give him the rampage.
Give
him the rampage.
Give
Is it going to be enough?
Is he going to die for this rampage? Is he really going to do it?
He's going to get frostbitten out. And Hunter denied.
8 times monster kill streak ended.
So Dota and Die denied the rampage yesterday from Depi, and today Hunter denied.
Actually, that was more Fury than anything else. Oh, but she
they
just
do
goes
take down the Crystal Maiden, and they do push out the top lane. It looks like most of the players are down. TKC wants to jump in here onto Skynet, gets him down. TKC, can he find Doom Bunny? He does have the Co-Scepter off cooldown. He uses it now. It's going to try and TP out. Isn't going to be enough. And TKC, easy peasy, baby.
That was really unfortunate. I mean, his TP was in his backpack, so he was waiting for it to come off cooldown. And if he did that just a few seconds earlier, he would have actually gotten out of that.
Let's. Can we get a replay on that ultra kill? Because
yes.
that was... Well, there you go. You can see Adestam smashing away. He does drop Jappa. He does put himself on the ultra. Hunter gets in there, drops the Omni Slash, fighting under the Macropire, and Hunter denies it. All of a sudden, Fury gets the frostbite off and just blade spins away. And actually, Hunter
getting the last hit on that.
Yeah.
And that's quite needed. It was almost over, just was what, 1,100 gold going his way for that kill. 8 times monster kill streak. It's a lot of gold.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Saga, and that's going to change our stats.
Oh, yes.
2 players this tournament has actually denied rampages.
Oh, shame, man. Well played, Fury, I guess. I mean, you can always go and face the Dastam afterwards. He's probably he's not going to be pleased with that. But Rosh is up, and they are looking to take this, definitely. There's going to be a cheese involved here as well.
No, this is going to actually be the 3rd Rosh, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a little bit more tanky, a little bit more harder. They do clear him down pretty easy. I mean, worth having the corrosive haze. They do actually find out Jappa. There comes the ball. TKC jumping down into Dota and Da. He goes Scepters up, but now TKC has got the BKB, blinks to the ally, and Fury just being in vicinity.
That was all Rockley. He relocated Jappa out of there. That was all Rockley.
That clutch.
That was all Old Man Rockley. Well played to him. Jappa was most certainly dead.
You say Old Man Rockley. I think he's probably not past his like.
No, he's 25. He's still relatively young, but compared to the rest of his team, we've got a 17-year-old on TKC. We've got the rest of them 18, 19-year-olds. So on his team, he's Old Man Rockley.
all right. So then I hope you guys don't call me Old Man Jabba.
No, it's okay, Jabba. We don't consider you an old man. Don't worry. It's just a nickname that kind of stuck around. So I take to do this. Jappa's in trouble again.
He finds the tornado, finds the EMP, jumps in, Dota and Da. And Adestam going to make easy work of him, finding his second. But Depi clears out Jappa. Adestam clears out Fury. They do take the top lane of Rax. And this is going to be Megas coming in for the side of XTC. And Hunter drops out the Manta, and Depi throwing down the meteor ball. Darenda, easy corrosive haze. Skynet actually finishing it off. But Adestam trying to run around looking for TKC, 4-star forward, and Sunstrike just in case, and Rockley bites the dust.
The last man standing. And I think they're just going to call GG, or they might just let the Ancient drop, who knows. But doing a smoke inside the base, waiting for someone to actually respawn.
Oh, wow. No one's coming alive, boys.
Nah, GG. There we go. But I must say, I mean, Dota and Die on this slaughter, absolutely amazing. I mean, the one where they're taking the Rax mid, and he just forced off the Bristleback into himself. I mean, when do you ever see someone go, okay, let's get the Bristleback here, let's bring him into us, you know?
Yep.
Brilliant play. I mean, like Dota and Die on this slaughter, I made so many plays happen, roaming around with the Dastam. It worked out so well.
I mean,
for them.
how far is Dota and Die to pick up an E-Blade on top of all the other items that he had? Adestam finishing off.
They were having fun.
Oh, they were having an absolute ball. 2 gems on the side of XTC. Okay, so Just let's quickly look at the stats here. We've got a relatively decent amount of gold for the side of XT.
Yes, we do.
The amount of damage being output here from Depi and from Adestam in a huge amount of numbers for the side of XT. Struggling a little bit. I think the highest was TKC on the PA. So a lot of work XT have to do coming into the second game.
A lot of work, but I would actually like to see the graphs here as they've progressed throughout the game with, you know, the XP team net worth, player net worth, levels, but I mean, look at this. This is just disgusting.
Just constantly was in favor of XTC. I think a lot of it came to the point that Adestam was kind of left unaided, and Hunter kept on getting abused. Skynet didn't really allow him to... I mean, Adestam was pretty much... I didn't feel they put enough pressure onto Adestam.
No, they didn't.
Even pre-rush.
No, they didn't.
They didn't even know that he was rushing.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's
on the
what you do
field.
with an Ursa, yeah.
I know, but you have an Ursa and a Slardar. You know you've got to somehow protect the rush. You know it's going to be inevitable.
To be honest, though, Hunter also got left pretty much uncontested in his safe lane as well. Until, you know, the rush was taken and they decided to group up and start roaming around. As soon as Adestam got that blink, as soon as Adestam got the rush and blink, it was go time.
Yeah, and you could see the amount of damage it was outputting. And you know what? Even the small little plays, like generally as a 2.5k MMR player, I'm joking, I'm not that low. But the blinks that he would actually engage onto the bristleback, at least being in front of the bristleback, hitting him in the face and not in the back, reducing the amount of armor that the bristleback gets. It's those small little plays that really hurt Jappa. But I mean,
on this Invoker, though.
So quickly, before we have to wrap up, what does XD need to do to take the next game?
Maybe not draft like this again.
So you think XD lost the draft?
Look, I mean, XTC were watching this game yesterday, and I mean, XTC are not going to fall into that trap. You need to draft differently. You need to throw out something they haven't seen before.
Well, I mean, the draft was very similar. They did give the PA a showing as opposed to the pack.
It didn't work out, though. The Invoker just did way too much.
Yeah. So I think that's it for game one. Do join us for game number two. From myself, Jabba, and Succubus, we'll see you soon. Over to the panel.
Hey guys, it's good to be back on the panel here. Up to our usual tomfoolery. I'm trying to keep things chill, but it won't last. But yeah, obviously XC sitting in a very nice position at the moment. Actually, just one game away, effectively, from making it to the winners bracket final. Are you feeling good about life?
No, that was more than... It was quite a long game. A lot of people predicted XTC 2-0 with 19-minute games, 20-minute games, but that wasn't it. I think PA did pretty well there with the KDA. I think she as the hero took care of her lane pretty well. Invoker, obviously, Depi is a delightful person to watch. So, as you mentioned during the game as well, that he's one of the best mids out here in South Africa. But let's not forget about Adestam. That Ursa pick is shown to be the counter pick against Bristleback, and it worked out well. I think he killed him 3 times, and then as Bristleback got weaker, even Invoker managed to kill him twice, well, I think 3 times as well. So XTC in the end is the more powerful team, but it wasn't as close as... No, it was closer than what people thought. It was, almost to an hour game. And I think in game 2, XD can pull out a much stronger draft to take care of XTC.
Yeah, I think you say the game was quite long, but it's also, they did show a bit of respect and restraint to maybe overextend. They know that these guys, they're not poorly skilled. You do a mistake, they're going to punish you. So XTC definitely looked to be the stronger team. And I made my prediction saying it's 2-0 or nothing. Like, I don't believe that they're going to be able to win the series, but they're going to go more than likely down to the lower bracket and see what they can do from there. So I'm wrong. I'm not trying to get a scapegoat here, but I definitely feel XTC are looking very, very strong going through this tournament. And like you said, Depi as well as Adestam. I mean, probably top 5 players in South Africa in that one team. So very difficult to deal with. And I mean, the rest of the supports seem to have done a really good job. The Slardar got his blink dagger up in good timing. E-blade up at the end of the game. I mean, he didn't get any kills, but he was involved constantly in that game.
Well, I mean, obviously we kind of looked at this game thinking that XD was in fact the what was that? We did in fact expect XD to be the underdogs, but I think they were given a draft that they really should have. It was everything they wanted, right? They got the exact heroes they wanted. Gave us a little curveball at the end. Didn't really work out for them. I think what I like about this is that I feel like the next tier up is going for that Meepo pick. But I think let's go ahead first and hear a little bit more about the players and see what the captain from XTC had to say.
My name is Dennis, Dota and Die. Play for XTC, I'm the captain.
Sucking it out of my thumb.
What it means captain this team is a lot. Worked really hard to get into Masters, worked our way from the bottom, and yeah, now we're top 3 on the log, so it feels great. How XTC is going to fit into the scene over the next 2 years, really good. I think we're a very strong side. We only have a bright future ahead of us. I think we may have some inconsistencies, but we're one of the stronger teams in terms of talent. We've got very impressive players, so I think we're very optimistic about the future. It's a tough question, you know, especially for a captain to answer. You can't say no, we don't have what it takes. I think we definitely have the potential to do it, but unlocking the potential is in question. We've only been together for a few months, and this is the first time we've actually all gotten together and met one another. So we're a relatively new side, but obviously that's no excuse. I think top 2 is very realistic, and I think we do expect it. But first place, we'll just hope for the best, go in with as much confidence as we can. Definitely Deppy, Aiden. He's got the highest MMR in our team, probably 3rd highest in South Africa as well. He's very competitive, hates losing, so he'll do whatever it takes to win. Probably Energy. We faced them in League 1 and that went well. We beat them consistently, but as League 2 came, I don't know, they got on form and they started playing far better. They looked like a different team. We still think we can definitely take them. I think it's 50-50, but they are very impressive. Who are we going to dominate? Definitely Pulse and whoever comes up next.
So that was some great words from good old Dota and Die, but you know they weren't the only words, and I would like to welcome you, in fact, Scarpy, to the Hot Mic Club. I am El Presidente, right? I've had some gems myself, but I haven't quite had sucking it out of my thumb before.
Apparently it happens to everybody. Sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah,
Until somebody tells you,
that's great.
yeah.
Great. I did once have. I hope we aren't too late for lunch, though. That was a good one, you know.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know, it happens. It's good to make it a little bit of fun of it. But you were going to say something, yes?
You give me good reasoning for a E-blade on Slaughter.
right. Yeah. Well. Is that because you would suck out the E-blade out of your thumb?
No.
I was just shaking.
I was sucking the knowledge out of my thumb for that one.
right. Don't give away our secrets. We've never even played Dota before, right? Yeah. Okay. So we've actually seen this one before, right? But interestingly enough, in that interview with Dota Die, he does mention that the first going to take down Pulse, and then whoever is next, right? And interestingly enough, I mean that's exactly how the things have been panning out so far. But I was sort of alluding to the Meepo just a moment ago. What do you think the chances that we're going to see it is?
I really hope they bring it out because a lot of people has been talking about Hunter's Meepo, the players, the managers of the teams as well. When we have our breaks, we talk to them and they do mention it's one of Hunter's best heroes that he plays with. So I don't see why there's no reason why he shouldn't take it out, but yeah, it's a high possibility. I think XTC is one of the the hardest team to take down in this tournament. So if they're out in this one, they have to go down to the lowest brackets, and I don't think they want to face Energy or APG for that matter as well. So bring out the strongest teams, bring out your strongest rosters, and go for it.
And of course, just I mean, you mentioned as well is that if you do manage to go up, even by using like a really big like strat that you've been holding back on,
Yeah.
you're probably saving more because you don't have to go and then worry about the BO1s where you're pretty much just in danger at all times. And it's literally like, cool guys, so remember that pocket strat we're going to save for WG? We're using it against whoever it might be.
And then win it from here, and then eventually get as far as you can.
But on that point about the Meepo, I'm gonna this one, and I'm gonna say now that they're gonna first pick Meepo, right? And then if they do get dropped down to the lower bracket, and they did well with the Meepo, it might force their opponents to say, okay, listen, there's a best of one. We got to first ban Meepo, and potentially they can get a Warlock as an opening pick. If that could be the logic they could be running in there with, like they're willing to first pick a Meepo.
That's
do we ban it
really
first
dangerous
base?
though. I mean, there are some pretty solid Meepo counters, so I don't know, like maybe what I'd love to see is like Meepo being run as some sort of 4 position or something. So you set you up and then surprise, meet my Sven, although Sven will probably be picked up
You
as one
see
of those
Meepo with wards. Sentry
He
wards.
doesn't actually skill his ultimate, just literally just Meepo's running, like a single Meepo, just
Poof. Yeah, though that is pretty
one left in base, so you can
just
escape
in case,
easily.
hey.
They've done it before. They have done it before, first pick Meepo. More than once. So, I don't know.
Seems dangerous. But who knows? Maybe we'll get to it. I mean, we all want to see it, right? We wanted to see the Castaway Tinker earlier this afternoon. We got to see that. So I think the Hunter Meepo is probably the next one up there to see. Well, but I mean, let's move things over a little bit to XTC then. I mean, it would not be fair if we did not speak about what heroes we might want to see out of them. Anything in particular you guys would be keen to check out?
I think Depi would want to play that TIA again. I mean, he's really confident on that hero. DotA and Die, I think he should just keep it to the slaughter. He's really strong with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would like to also see Depi on the Shadow Fiend. He is so accurate with those raises. Yesterday, I think I cast the game, and I don't believe he missed a single raise. Every time he threw one out, he hit at least one hero, no matter what. He's deadly on that hero, and we saw them ban it out in the first phase in that game. And with, by all means, he gets a lot of the jungle, easy to stack. So that's something I would like to see coming out for them.
Right. I think, let me see. I mean, I think personally I'd like to see something that might be like a little unusual coming out from something like Adestam, something that might be a little bit more, like maybe a little bit like old school or something, just for the sake of it, to be perfectly honest. Maybe even something a little bit like, or the Vengeful Spirit. I guess we've seen that already, but I think I could do with another Vengeful Spirit. But anyways, moving straight into the draft, guys. Surprise, surprise! It's good old Legion Commander being removed from the pool, and I'm interested to see if we do see a Meepo ban early on. Ursa goes out as well as the Warlock, so some of the staples out of this one. So
there's no Warlock Meepo. I would have loved to see that actually. We haven't seen Warlock besides with the combination of the Sand King, which was in the hard lane for APG. That worked out so nicely. I won't mind seeing something different, but nonetheless, Legion, Warlock, they've been banned out. And first pick Treants. Now, that is something strong.
I mean, we spoke about the fact that its stun is now a root, but I feel like some people almost... I don't know why people would prefer it, but some people seem to prefer the fact that it's now like a root. And it's not even a real root, it's a slow.
Yeah.
You know, it's 100% slow, so you can blink out of that.
And generally in roots, you can still activate your skills if you're the victim. So it's actually balancing more, I guess.
Yeah, it's much weaker than the stun, I guess, is the thing.
But I think a lot of teams are using more of his heal now than they did before. That's really been good, not only for towers, but for heroes in middle of a fight. He can keep on throwing that out. Treant was, before the change of his guys, he was still a strong pick. Now he has a root or 100% slow as well on top of that. I know it's a nerf from what we saw previously, but it's a buff from what was before that, and it was still a hero that you could pick up. So I feel it's not too bad. Yes, I'm wrong.
Darkseer also coming out here. That's interesting because Darkseer started out, everyone wanted Darkseer, and he's definitely tapered off. We've still seen quite a bit of him. Followed up by the Crystal Maiden. So
Ooh, and the X. I think the X is a brilliant one. It's to, after the Treant's ulti, he could control who he wants to kill first by just calling and then have the rest of XTC do it. But XTC picking up an X, maybe a Dota and Die X, maybe... Okay, I think it's a Skynet
really
attack. Let's be realistic.
The sort of support axe, if I'm following.
It's possible, but it depends what they want to do with this so far. I mean, they have the Treants and the Axe, and I think these are, the heroes to control fights with. But Vacuum from the Doxia is a problem, and also the Crystal Maiden. You know how the way Sanso played it is that he plays aggressive. He gets the stun in first and relies on the teammates to catch the enemies afterwards. And I want to see if XD has the capability to do that.
I was going to say that I feel like there's a high likelihood of a potential Sven ban coming out from XC or a pick, because Sven and Lena, they talk to each other, guys, in Dota. They literally talk to each other. They work quite nicely in lane. Also, since Sven has a low mana pool, the aura certainly helps out. But definitely the Darkseer. I know that it was sort of made famous by Fear, but it really is a very strong combination.
Made famous by Fear, molded with improvement by Universe. But this is very interesting. The XD banning out the Invoker. I personally didn't see DP playing the Invoker, but that is actually a really good pick by them. But I think DP would go for a more DPS hero, and with such, I think TA is a very good choice for the Dire side. But I think so far, DXT is just going to focus on banning out the core heroes to stop Alistam or DP from choosing their favorites.
Yeah, I think XD might even look at a Pudge here. They did it yesterday with great success. And it's pretty good with Darkseer as well. Surge is really strong on Pudge. And Crystal Maiden can set that up quite nicely. So, and I know that they kept on bringing it up yesterday. I don't know about today if they will do it, but it is a potential. Rock Lee does enjoy who doesn't enjoy the hero, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think Pudge is going to be countered by the X. I mean, if you hook the Treants, X will blink and call. If you hook X, you're falling to the trap. Go Scarpy!
One might say that Scarpy sucked that one right out of his thumb. Wow, I cannot speak English.
Nice try.
Yeah, it just failed, burned.
Just go with it, right?
Yeah, moving right along. Well done, Scarpy. Let's change the narrative. Great work.
Yeah. But I just want to go on the same page. If Axe gets a call, Pudge can hook someone out of that call at the same time. So
good counter.
They sort of counter each other in the sense. So
yeah,
it's gonna be up to Rock Lee how he plays his Pudge, really.
No, this is good. I get your point. Pudge. Wait, Rock Lee Pudge. Position 4, right?
Yeah.
So I guess get the roam early and try to take out the likes of Depi in the early game. Support your mid, and then let Hunter do his thing.
Yeah, they could even dual lane. I mean, you just put Surge on and an Iron Shell on Pudge, and he runs next to you. What do? It's like one of the worst things to deal with.
Yeah, that literally is like I know, Dota 2010 in a nutshell, like ridiculous combinations like that. But the scary thing is, you're right. A lot of the times things like that do work, and especially if you have, if it takes you by surprise, we realize like, oh wow, I have squishy lanes, or we're trying to like 2-2 it up, and we have something that no like sort of mobility or slow units, that sort of thing can be a real life thing to deal with. So it'd be interesting to see if we do find something cute like that. But yeah, let's go. I mean, we chatted a little bit about the bans. Do you think any of these particular bans are sort of pushing us towards a particular pick, perhaps? I mean,
I think XD is just blocking out the cores, as I mentioned earlier, just to limit the Alistam and Depi picks. But now that XDC picked up the Troll, we can see Depi play a more utility hero. We've seen the old famous Magnus Troll combo, but I don't think that's even needed now. I think they're focused on Troll Warlords. Just getting the attack done, the DPSer in, and rely on him to farm up, and then just take the team on. But with the Axe and the Treants to control the early game.
Yeah, either Alistam or Depi can take Troll, and they could just enable each other. So whichever one does take it, whichever they feel more confident with in lane, would be good. And I mean, you enabling either two good players. So it's not a 4 protect 1 anymore. It's sort of 2 really good players, and everyone else rallies up behind them. And I mean, they're still playing out of their mind though. Skynet's been playing very well, Doom Bunny as well, and Dota and Die. I mean, they've all been stepping up to the plate. I suppose Adestam as well as Depi are highly renowned in South Africa, but the rest of the team are pretty strong.
This is basically yesterday's drafts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot what they picked in the offlane. I'm not sure if it was Docs here yesterday,
Yeah,
but definitely 4 out of 5.
yeah, they're not even in their booth. They have something that auto picks for them here.
Also,
I believe it's the random, just as things go. I don't know how I feel about Spectre. It's just so weak in lane these days, and once again, the theory is that you're going to find your farm by being active in fights early on. So he's assumed fighting carry, right? But he's also probably one of the single best super late game carries, and I guess that's the appeal to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if he just gets behind, he really struggles to catch up.
And I think he will. If Trent gets a good start, I think it's a very good counter to Spectre. Axe also, catching the Spectre out, what are you really going to do about it? Scopy mentioned the Pudge hook escapes, but you're stopping Spectre from farming, and to the late game, as Halbert said, it doesn't work well at all for Exdee Gaming. Now that Oracle's out as well, wow, I think XTC has the draft ready for them right now, on their favor.
XTC is the only team that's picking up Oracle. Oracle's got I think the worst win rates overall in the previous patch. Obviously, it's a new patch now, and there's new potential. So they're the only people that's really running it. They ran it with success yesterday. Today, it's interesting. Still good support, I feel. I just think he does need a bit of a buff. Needs some love.
I think to me, Oracle's always been a hero that is so skill dependent. I could entirely imagine a sort of top player mastering an Oracle and being incredibly effective with it, and it's becoming something that opponents feel they need to ban. It just has so much versatility. And the nuking power of this here is really, really strong. I think the problem is that it is hard to play, and that's why we don't see a huge amount of Oracle, in my opinion. And also, I guess what we said time and time again is that Dazzle is does a lot of the same thing, but it's easier to perform. So why put yourself in that position?
Yeah, I think you make a fair point there. He is a very high skill level hero, but not only that, I feel like there's just been better supports for these situations. I was actually going to say I'm more than expecting a puck, seeing that they banned out TA lost, but I think it's sort of telegraphed to XTC to ban out that puck.
So if Depi picks any mid, doesn't matter what anymore, last pick XD, Meepo, can we see that? I mean, they need a mid player, right?
A Meepo and a Spectre, though.
Yeah, they don't run Meepo mid.
They don't run it?
Yeah, they
My
don't
mistake,
run it mid.
but it would have worked out so well. I would have been so surprised. Please.
They might just do it, and TKC just plays mid spec or mid patch.
So you want to put a mid Spectre against a Storm Spirit?
No, he loses bad.
And that Storm Spirit will be played by whom?
Yeah, no, that's
even worse than having a Viper against a Spectre. Okay, no, this is just trolling. Yeah, but otherwise, Storm Spirit finishes the draft really well. I mean, you want to catch a farming Spectre, right? Pick the right heroes for it, and that suits it perfectly well. But the Queen of Pain, that's a very nice one against the Storm Spirit.
Classic matchup, actually. Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, this has been like the matchup for years.
Yeah.
So we'll see who it favors. Like, we've seen Storms come out ahead, we've seen Queen of Pains come out ahead. But Depi up against TKC, it's going to be interesting.
I got to say, the thing that concerns me most about this is Jappa's on the Starks here, right? And Jappa to me is like kind of the guy who's been winning their games. Winning the games. He's been a big influence on winning the games. And there's nothing that's really pooling up nicely with the Darks here. I mean, you could say like, okay, maybe a huge vacuum into Sonic Wave, but that's about all of it. And you can't expect like a CM to be sitting there and just get off a massive LT. It's just, I feel like there's something missing from this draft in the sense that they're not really giving one of their absolute star players an opportunity to shine. But I guess it's probably about time we start making our way over to the casters.
Oh, well, guys, I heard that we're casting apparently.
I was going to say, so the casters, in fact, will be myself and Reigns. We're just hijacking the stream now. It's our cast now.
I dispute that.
Yeah.
I feel that a battle of sorts should be arranged to decide whether or not.
Okay, what we can do is you guys cast the Dire, we'll cast the Radiant.
You know, I could live with this. But I think that it might be better if we just cast both.
Is it okay if I call you whole baby bird beard the whole cast then?
I might take some sort of. Actually, no, it's fine. Why not?
Production, please kick off the panel and bring the shot to us. Welcome back to game number 2 of Exdee versus XTC. XTC did take game number 1 of Exdee. Do they have what it takes to take down XTC? We're going to soon find out as the game is underway. And this time around, Exdee still playing on the side of the Radiant. And let's see what they can do. I am Jabba, joined by the lovely, lovely Succubus.
Hello, Jabba. Aw, shout out to Taneshi.
Well, I just want to mention, I mean, Fury must be sick and tired of Dota. All I've seen him on is on that cuddly Crystal Maiden. All he's played every day, all the time. I think, guys, you need to draft him another hero because I think your hero pool at the moment is sitting at 1.
Fury, hero pool of 1. I'm just joking, guys. Anyway, guys, Rocky shouting out to his girlfriend Candace that's sitting outside. And she is going to see her man possibly lose this game, but he's on the pudge. Hunter now taking a lot of damage. Battle Hunger as well as that root. I think this rune is theirs, but Rocky and Fury on their way here. Just going to back off.
They are 2 big bullies here for the side of XTC. Dota and Skynet just beating a Hunter off of that bounty rune. They can't get anything done. He's going to have to actually retreat very low HP considering that it's the beginning of the game. The horn is gone. So let us get ready to Dota. Let's do the quick introductions. We did introduce them in game 1, but let's do it really quickly for this game number 2, as it may be seeing one of these teams make their way into the losers bracket. So for the side of the Radiant, once again, will be Fury on our Crystal Maiden. We've got Rockley playing a devastating pudge yesterday, picking up a Rod of Ados, being an absolute nuisance in lane. We have got Hunter on the Spectre. Dota and Dying being very sneaky here, dropping quite a deep observer ward and just scouting out what's going to happen on this tri lane here for the side of Exdee. Let's jump to the mid lane. We have got TKC on the Queen of Pain. Many heroes we've seen play so far this tournament, from a puck to a
hold on, I'm going to stop you right there. This is possibly your first blood here on Skynet. Rockley. Oh no, the tides have turned.
Oh, Rockley in trouble, Skynet in trouble. Who's the one to go down first? And it is going to be Skynet. Rockley going to be able to salve it up. Fury gets the frostbite off. Double kill in the first minute of the game. Exdee coming out. I don't know what they did during the break, but I think they had some pre-neutro.
Well, you know, when you play a hero so much, you better be good at it. So Fury, we possibly see, we recently read an article that Carry Maiden is not a thing, but I think Fury is going to disagree with them.
Well, just jumping back to the quick introductions before things get underway. TKC on the Queen of Pain, and last but not least for the side of XD is going to be Jappa, and that rounds it up. Please do the shout outs for the side of the Dire.
The shoutouts, we're going to have Skynet on his classic Storm Spirit over here, actually taking a lot of damage, almost actually getting TKC down. Oh, that clutch blink, obviously now salving up. Deppy is going to have to do exactly the same thing once that Shadow Strike has, of course, left his body. Then we're going to have Dota and Die on the Treant Protector, followed up by Skynet onto your Axe, Doom Buddy on the Oracle, and of course, last but not least, we're going to have Dastum on the Troll Warlord. And I must say, XTC, one of the teams that can play Oracle exceptionally well. And I mean, we saw them executed exceptionally well yesterday. Dastum was he actually didn't die once because of the Oracle saving him constantly. I think we're going to see another unkillable Dastum game here. I don't think he's going to die. He's got a tree as well as an Oracle.
Well, I mean, we've seen how nukey Oracle can actually be. He gets enough mana and you just start spamming Purifying Flames, becomes really difficult to actually deal with. So, I mean, the question is, Scarpy mentioned it on the panel that it's probably got the lowest win rate at the moment, the Oracle, well, at least in the previous patch. Do you think that this patch actually favors the Oracle a bit more? Let's just take a look in the bot lane quickly before we come to that question. Rock Lee, he's going to actually just have to walk himself off. It looked like it was going to get really interesting there. Dota and Die, he's in first, gets the hook off. Rock Lee gets slowed out. They do pop the dust. Hunter going to be able to do a little bit of damage there, but kill going to Rock Lee. And that is going to really put him in a good position to start building towards that Rod of Atos that we saw do so well yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it's the easiest hooks of his life. I mean, he's got Root from the Crystal Maiden. Also, obviously, going to probably build in the same build as that, as you said, the Rod of 8 Stars. And it's so much better for Strength Heroes now because obviously it requires 2 braces instead of the 2 Staffs of Wizardry. So, Strength Hero pickup definitely better, and especially for a Pudge. He needs that strength gain. But as you were asking about the Oracle, I mean, for me, Oracle's such a good hero. Oh, sorry, you want to do some right-click damage to me? No, you can't. Sorry, you want to cast spells? No, you can't. You want to kill my carry? No, I'm going to ulti him, and he's going to receive... okay, you receive all the damage you take, plus all the heal you take at the end of the ulti. So if you heal more than the damage you take, you get out of it. And it also lets the guy that's supposed to die basically stay in the fight a bit longer. Oracle for me is a very, very strong support, and if it's played to its full potential, it absolutely wrecks games. It completely disrupts the team fight. So,
and coupling and also adding to the living armor from the Treant as well. It adds to that as well. So
and it looks like he's going to try gank mid here, TKC.
Oh, he is actually invised up. Can he make something happen, TKC? He has been rooted, so Root will not allow the Queen of Pain to actually blink out.
Yeah.
And Deppy does also, he doesn't actually have a point into his Electric Vortex. He's going to be in, they may not actually be able to kill TKC.
Oh, no. He just walked into the range of that Sentry Ward. TKC knows he's here now. I hope he saw that. No.
Oh, no, well, the Root comes out, blinks out immediately under the cover of the Tier 1 tower, and he's going to be pretty much safe.
Yeah, I mean, he unfortunately walked into that range of the Sentry there. Oh, but sorry, I was actually mistaken. It's not the Sentry of TKC, it's a Sentry of Deppy. So, well...
Oh, it's a Deppy Sentry, yeah.
Just quick reactions, I guess. He maybe could have cast that Fortune's End a little bit. He's got quite a big range on Fortune's End at the moment. So, he could have actually maybe just cast it a little bit inside of the fog, and they could have probably potentially gotten the kill on TKC. But he's too quick, and he blinks straight out of it before it reaches him.
Dota and Dart trying to pull off a filthy Frank or a Mr. Poddykins, trying to find that courier snipe as they did in the WRG game and Energy game, but Fury getting spotted out here. Dota and Dart does try and slow down Fury. He has not been spotted out. Going to go back in Viz, and he's going to be pretty much safe until they start being able to afford dust, some sentries. Dota and Dart is pretty much going to do whatever the hell he wants to.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, Rock Lee, can he find that hook? No, he can't. Okay. Ooh. Deppy just doing a quick little shake and bake there. Nothing's going to happen off the back of that.
He tried to miss the Shadow Strike, but just not quick enough on the button there. He tried to dodge the Shadow Strike, just not take some damage. But look, Deppy being at level 6 now, he's going to be able to do a lot on the map. Oof. He's going to be able to do a lot on the map. Maybe just get a few more levels up on the Storm Spirit, then start rotating in.
The question is we've seen Adestam get completely out of hand. Now, again, they've pretty much left him. They've pretty much left him alone top and kind of just sacked the lane. They've said, right, okay, well.
Jappa also struggling quite a bit because Troll's just knocking down those Iron Shell creeps, and of course also forced back into the bush yet again. Jappa is just not his day on the off lane here.
Well, I mean, Adestam, he's sitting 44 for 27. They're trying to make a play on Jappa. They throw out the Fortunes in. They're going to root him out. Battle Trance is online. The Purifying Flames come through. Is it going to be enough? And Jappa going to get healed out there from the enemy.
And one thing we actually really didn't mention is that Oracle is so good versus Doxia. So good.
Ooh, missing the kill in the bot lane. Skynet going down and Fury picking up the kill. Rock Lee going down. Skynet going down and Fury walking away, being champion of the kill. Dota and Dart in the side lane here. I don't think he's got enough to actually bring down Hunter. He could be a little bit of a nuisance, but that's pretty much about it.
Well, I don't see Rockley's death, so I actually think he actually got it.
Oh, there comes the strike. Do they get the call of Skynet trying to get close? He does drop the Battle Hunger. He gets the call off. He's got the newts in vicinity. Can it proc those helixes? It's not, and Hunter is going to be able to get away. In the meantime, in the mid lane, Rockley smashing the face of the Storm. Back to the bot lane, though. Hunter making his way through it. And Fury gets the Frostbite onto Dota and Die. Don't have a sentry available. They drop it now. They do see Dota and Die. Is it going to be enough? Jappa trying to make something happen. The call does come off, pulling him away from Dota and Die. The tree's going to be able to live. The surge is there. The sprint is there. Can he put off a Wade van Niekerk? He does, and he gets the kill. And Dota and Die goes down, but the Fortunes ends on its way in. It does connect. Storm Spirit in perfect vicinity. He gets the kill down onto Jappa. And Jappa being very overzealous. Doom Bunny actually walking away with the kill, not the Storm Spirit. But here comes TKC. He wants a part of this action. The hook not actually connecting. And they're going to be able to walk it off. So, unfortunately, Jappa going down and not picking up anything off the back of that.
Yeah, well, the only reason why I died is because of the rotations. You know, Deppy coming in from mid. And, of course, at Fortune's End, I mean, just... You're not going anywhere. It's a route. I'm sorry, my friend, you're dying.
You suffer. That route is absolutely ridiculous. And we will see the strength of it as soon as... I'm almost guaranteed Rocklee's going to pick up the Rod of Atos. Let's just see if he's actually building into it. Ooh, look, the circlet. So, okay, he's going to probably finish up his wand first. And then probably from the wand, you'll probably start seeing him going into the Rod of Atos. And regardless of that, Rod of Atos is really good against the Storm Spirit. So it is almost a necessity against the Storm Spirit. I mean, you can pick up silence, you can pick up whatever.
Oh, but Axe goes
Lee,
down again. This tri-lane is actually really hurting him. I wonder why he hasn't actually gone into the jungle. Like, I get you don't want to let the Spectre free farm, but you know, oh, hold on, there's some action happening here in the jungle. TKC going on to Deppy here. Can he actually get this kill? And he does.
Wow, just from the nick of his teeth, catching it in the corner of the screen, throws out the screen, gets the kill, and now Deppy does go down. Now
TKC God, man.
Well, he's a really amazing mid player. He's really doing wonders for his team. I mean, it's almost like he puts the side of Exdee on his shoulders for the early to mid game, and then at the end of it, then Hunter says, all right,
I'm ready now.
Tap out, I'm ready, stand back. And he gets stuff done. But looking in the top lane, Adestam trying to make something happen. As the Spectre dagger comes out, Hunter wants to make a play here on Adestam. He's going to really be healed up here from his partner, Doom Bunny. They do get the fortunes there coming out. Rock Lee gets the hook, but Hunter's been rooted out. The Fury drops down the Frostbite. He has been disarmed here from the Oracle, trying to heal him up. Is that enough to actually bring him down? Hunter picks up a kill there. Another Frostbite available. Fury gets it out. Hook from Rock Lee, baby. This is rock and roll to my ears. Deppy trying to work on Rock Lee. Smashes him apart. He goes down. Can Deppy pick up the kill onto the Crystal Maiden? Gonna probably be enough. He has actually been rooted out. Double kill for him. And he's probably not going to look anything further from that. While that's all happening, bot lane is under a lot of siege here.
So is mid lane with TKC with a double damage run.
Well, TKC very close by, opting not to actually help out his team and put on a bit more pressure here in the mid lane. I mean, what do you think maybe the reason for TKC is not joining the mid or their top fight?
Because it looked pretty much won. So I feel like he felt like maybe he does need to go in. They got what they needed, but then along came Deppy.
Well, bot lane, no Rock Lee trying to work on DotA and DotA. Dust is open. He goes down. You were caught sticking your fingers in the cookie jar, and the Kildara's turtle snapped off your fingers, buddy.
No, that was. I mean, they got the tower at least. So they didn't end up trading. But as I said, now tier 1 tower goes down mid as well. Adastam, I thought he was going to be unkillable again. You know, that revenge that he didn't die once with. Oh, Fortune's End just didn't hit the mark there.
Oh, Rock Lee, he finds Skynet, gets the hook off, gets the call off. Does Skynet have enough to actually make it through? Yeah, he's running away, picks up the bounty. But now we've got Adestam catching in close pursuit. The Fortune's End does come through, and Doom Bunny, the champion of the team.
Rock Lee not being able to get off the deny there. But I must say, I know you said TKC carries the team in the early game until Hunter's ready, but I really feel like the supports of XD do a brilliant job. I mean...
Well, Rock Lee on Page, I mean, come on. I mean, he's absolutely ridiculous.
On Wisp as well. I mean, this player, he's so good at it, and he just makes the right rotations at the right time. Unfortunately, not being able to deny himself there, almost getting the kill on the Axe once again.
Oh, Jabba. The Dogs here, he's going to get caught out by the Fortunes End. Fury in vicinity, going to freeze him out. Jappa, he wants more, gets the back off, but the scream completely whiffed. Doesn't matter, Rock Lee makes best of it as TKC jumping forward. Adestam TP's out. The hook almost catching DotA and DotA. The freezing field coming down from the Crystal Maiden gets bashed out. Adestam makes easy work of him, but Rock Lee picking up the double kill, takes down Adestam, and Mr. Doom Bunny on the tree walking away with his life. In the meantime, in the top lane, we do have Skynet trying to put pressure here as Hunter, very low HP. Don't get too close. All it's going to take is a call. TKC TPing in, throws down the dagger, cut that beauty out, and now is it going to be enough? And
no, it isn't. Nice attempt, though.
Hunter staying around for the XP, hunting for that XP.
Well, he has to because, I mean, Haunt is now a full minute longer at level 1. He can't just, YOLO use his Haunt anymore to, catch up. That's why...
YOLO Haunt.
YOLO Haunt, yeah. I mean, look, I spoke to Rockley yesterday. I'm like, why are you still drafting a Spectre when, you can't catch up as easily? You can't Haunt in for those early game kills. You can't escalate the way you used to. And he's like, well, we've been running the Spectre so much that we feel like if we change our strat now, it's going to hurt us. So they are running the Spectre, but they're just being more cautious when they use Haunt.
No, I mean, it seems to be working out. Haunt is off cooldown, so that is available. Or the hook almost coming up, almost catching Deppy.
I don't think it's actually been used this game as of yet. Hunter hasn't used the Haunt. I mean, yeah, he hasn't used the Haunt yet. That's, I mean, he's gonna choose that time. But I must say, Axe, he's having such a hard time in this game.
He's got the Rads locked and loaded, so that is the item of his choice, not opting for the Diff or Vanguard build.
Or the Blade Mail.
But going for the Rads build.
Blade Mail is actually a really good option here to go for first, I feel, especially against things like Troll, Storm Spirit, Axe. You'll coupled with your Dispersion, it's really, it does a lot of damage early game. So
TKC in a little bit of trouble here, gets rooted out. They're going to get the axe being brought in. Deppy's appearing. Ice Vortex is going to be used, but easy blink out here for TKC. They don't have enough to actually keep him in place, and he's actually just going to get himself out of there very, very sweetly.
That's really lucky. really lucky.
Yeah, it is really lucky. They did commit a lot to it.
Yes, they did.
A lot of rotations. The axe was TP'd in, Deppy's top. So, I mean, now it leaves Adestam alone, but it's going to give him a bit of space. I mean, he's trying to get to his Shadow Blade as soon as he can as well. That's, I feel, and on Trolls, we've seen some teams run Trolls that don't actually pick up some form of engagement before you know it. They can't actually get in there and right-click. So, I mean, the Shadow Blade, I feel, a really good pickup here for Adestam.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I mean, as predicted, Rockley going for that immediate Rod of ATOS already got the double brace up. So that's going to be interesting. No longer going to be relying on Fury for secured hooks.
And this is such a devastating build on a page. I saw it yesterday. There are ways to deal with it. 4-staff, Yules, but I mean, it is so devastating.
Orbs, Lincolns, that type of thing. Definitely ways to deal with it.
But it's forcing your opponents into a certain position. Okay, that's the word that I was looking for. Position. It forces your enemies to actually do something that they don't really want to do. I mean, is there really a 4-staff carry on the side of XTC? Maybe the Axe jump in, call 4-staff away. Maybe the Oracle.
Axe, Tree, they can all build 4-staffs. But I mean...
But natural carriers, are they like really natural? Maybe the Axe is probably the most natural.
Yeah. Blink Blade Mail 4-staff is generally the build you go on the Axe. But also, I mean... You'll probably have things like Glimmer Cape and, of course, 4-staff onto the Oracle as well. Tree going to go for probably that Solar Crest into maybe a Lotus Orb later to try and evade that as well. So definitely I see things happening. Deppy is a natural Lincoln's carrier, so I mean I see that happening. Sheep to follow. But he's going for that Bloodstone. It's going to get it relatively early as well.
TKC, he is in a dangerous position here.
He's in the danger zone.
Rockley is actually invised up. TKC immediately sees it. He TPs out. Now Deppy once more tries to find Hunter. The ulti Tree comes down. Skynet trying to close the gap. Can he get the call off? And now Rockley gets the hook off, trying to work on the Oracle. Rockley kills down Dota and Die. He's down.
TKC.
Hunter picking up the death from Adestam, but TKC trying to do some work there. Rockley smashing apart Doom Buddy, and Skynet, the cause of it all, walking away with his tail between his legs, losing two of the cores, 4 heroes for the side of XTC, and X, the only one walking away with his life, and only losing Hunter out of that whole battle. I mean, we're already looking at a positive net worth of about 5k here.
Well, Hunter, luckily, really, clutch got off his ulti and confused the whole side of XTC. Not just that, they had Spectres around them. So, I mean, he did go down quite a while after that, but it gave XT the time to get their abilities off, because there's other things to worry about. And I mean, TKC coming at the last moment when people were low. Yeah, Skynet.
He's getting aggressive here. He's trying to find Rockley. Deppy TP's in. And I mean, what do we call that? We call that a Kobe Bryant.
A Kobe Bryant dunk,
my friend. Indeed. With the basketball in the hoop. He is down. Now looking in the bot lane, though, we've got Fury trying to drop the freezing field. Jappa gets slowed out here. And XTC trying to take 2 fights across the field. Not the best idea with respect on the team. The Haunt is on cooldown. So, Exdee, he's hiding here in the corner. He's actually got his Shadow Blade up now. He's going to try and find Fury, and I don't see Fury getting out of this one.
There's no way. Cuddly Crystal Maiden is not going to survive an attack from a tree as well as a Troll Warlord. But I must say, Skynet getting the kill on Rockley's mega kill streak. It's about 600 gold going his way, plus quite a bit, a level and a half as well. Something the Axe really needs, because he's been suffering in this game. I mean, he's sitting at 5 deaths here on an Axe, and this is something you rarely see, especially this early. And with such an aggressive lineup with an Axe, a Troll, a Tree, and of course a Storm Spirit, it's something you don't really see. And I mean, the plays from Rockley and Fury, TKC to follow as well, have been absolutely great. The rotations, the pickoffs, they've been making it happen.
I mean, they've been playing unbelievably well. I mean, Exdee's also getting those kind of items up. He's going to start building towards his Sasha and Yanja now, so he's going to be hitting a little bit harder, running a bit faster. Maybe I suppose, a Heaven's Halberd is not really necessary. They do have the disarm on the Oracle, the innate built-in Heaven's Halberd on the Oracle.
Yeah, I would focus on maybe even 4-staff now on Skynet before his Blade Mail. Yes, Blade Mail's going to do a lot, but he's getting rooted quite a bit to the point where he can't really do anything in the fight. So maybe a 4-staff is the next item he goes for here, because especially since now Rockley is so close to that Lotus Orb. I mean, not Lotus Orb, sorry, the Rod of Atos. He's so close to that. And then you've also got Furious Frostbite to worry about. And then, of course, you want to get out of the way of the Queen of Pain. So your blink is going to get cancelled, so what's the next option? You need to
Rockley, he's showing himself in lane. He's going to get punished for it. Deppy jumps in, making some moves here. Skynet closes out the deal, gets the call off, doesn't get the chop. But Doom Bunny just throws down the Purifying Flames and says, sweet, baby, sweet.
Now that nuke is absolutely insane, and it's max level at the moment, so it's going to be doing a ton of damage. And Rush is now the call. Now that they're safe from the punch hooks, they're going to try and take Rush here.
They almost try and spot out Hunter. They do find him. He's going to be able to climb up the hills with the dagger, but Deppy, he's on him hard and fast, decides to actually pull out. And the side of XTC don't want to be around there. They all start disengaging. They may have sacked Rosh, but in the meantime, TKC finds the kill onto DotA and DotA. I mean, the tree hasn't really had. He's just basically feed, but now they're going to use Haunt. They're going to find the Doom Bunny, going to try and heal himself up using False Promise. Can he keep himself alive? That is the question. The rest of the team does come in, and Deppy, he wants to find Fury. He's going to be able to do some decent work here. And at a stand, last right click. He says, thanks, Deppy. In the meantime, Rockley making some magic happen here. Takes down Doom Bunny eventually. Gets the hook off. He finds Exdee. That is a big hook. Can he actually take him down? And he does. Exdee biting the dust. So 2 down here now for the side of XTC. Oh, they
Fury
are hiding.
Back. Fury did buy back for this. So let's see if he can make something happen. It's rare that you see a Crystal Maiden buy back.
He jumps into Rockley, going to try and punish him. The tree does drop his ult, but Fury does drop his ult too. They do lose DotA and DotA. Deppy hasn't got much mana. He's going to be able to just ball out for the moment, and Jappa is going to try and move his way out there, but the Skynet call does come in from the satellites above, and TKC going to just blink himself out of there. Wow, this has been an absolute massacre here for the side of XTC, losing 3. But they did get the buyback from Fury, so maybe it kind of evens itself out.
No, buyback on a position 5, losing all of that, definitely not worth. And the fact that, I mean, Tree was waiting for the Nature's Gauze to come off cooldown for himself. Oh wait, but as we say that, Deppy's now going on Hunter mid. I don't think he actually gets his kill. It's a little bit ambitious. Also, Call is going to miss. But yeah, I mean, him with that last right click onto TKC there, I think he should have just maybe run around the trees and waited to go invis, because they had no dust available, they had no sentries. For him, with that last hit, I mean, he was literally about like 2 seconds away from going invis, and TKC's like, okay, well, if you're going to hit me, then I'm just going to ulti you. I'm not going to waste time here.
Yeah.
Tree gone, Troll to follow, Rockley landing that amazing hook as well. That helped.
So now things are getting really, really scary. Yeah, now Exdee. now the reason why in my mind I'm going absolutely berserk is because I witnessed the game yesterday where Rockley picked up the Rod of Atos on the page. Now, you cannot miss a hook on a page, and the range of this Rod of Atos.
Before we talk about this, there's a big smoke coming up here. They're going to find Fury.
Well, they do jump in. They get the call off Fury. He's down. The buyback has been used Rockley finds the bite onto Dota and Die. Is it going to be enough? The scream comes out, reducing Doom Bunny's HP. The wall's being dropped. The Yules is up onto TKC. He's going to have to blink himself out of there. The horn comes through. Deppy, he's going to pull out of there. He doesn't have much mana. The TP comes in. Rockley, he doesn't hook much over there. Adestam, he's trying to run himself away. And 6 seconds cooldown on his Shadow Blade. Rockley, can he stop it? Dismember available. But Adestam being able to TP out. And that was super close for Exdee to pick up the kill on Adestam. That would have been massive.
Oh,
and a big loss for them.
Oh, the blink just in time. Oh, but
TKC, he finds it. But Deppy comes in, saves the day. But in the meantime, in the backlines, Rockley waiting for the hook. He finds Deppy. They do lose TKC though. But now they're going to try and burn down Deppy. Rockley, or he's going to pay for his sins trying to save out TKC there. Wow, that is... well, look, Hunter has now got up the relic. He's got the relic at around about 24 minutes. He's got 400 gold in the bank. Probably looking at about 28 minutes until he gets that Radiance.
It's a pretty late timing for the Radiance. It really, really is. And I mean, you would expect to see nothing more since the Haunt is really not available as much as it used to be. Dota and Die are now looking for something here in the jungle. Brilliant smoke coming out from XTC. I thought it was going to be a support for a support, still on XTC's favor since the Crystal Maiden did just buy back. And then they turned it around. TKC looking for that axe after, you know, the Hunter just couldn't catch up to him. And along comes Deppy and Doom Bunny just to wreck his day. And they end up losing 3 heroes. I mean, Rockley coming up with a beautiful hook once again, but there was no follow-up. He just instantly died there.
Yeah, I think it was being a little bit too aggressive. They should have taken the fight, walked away, and then XD would have been walking away winners. Now, it kind of ties things out a bit regarding the previous team fight. But, I mean, we're 25 minutes into the match, sitting 23 and 15 in favor of XD. Things are getting really interesting here, and XD do not want to put themselves in the lower brackets just yet. Jumping to the top lane, they do get the kill down onto Hunter. The dunk does come in. And, I mean, having this mobility from the Storm Spirit is...
Yeah, they're just trying to delay this Radiance as much as possible.
Yeah,
as much as possible. And if they can keep finding Hunter, keep delaying that Radiance, that's longer that their blinks are not going to get cancelled out. That's just you know, it's gonna not, because once he gets that Radiance, his farm's gonna start escalating. He's gonna be able to be around the map more, and you know, with the Radiance split pushing the lanes, he gets the Manta up, and his farm just starts exploding. And it's very, very hard going late game up against a very farm Spectre. So just delay that as much as possible. Oh no, Jappa teeping into a world of trouble here.
Oh wow, into a call, into a ball, into the devastation of Adestam. This is going to be a tier 1 tower. They do glyph it out. Hunter is going to be back. He's back now. He does have his haunt available. Will they try and make something happen here? Darkseer is down. It wouldn't be the ideal time to actually engage. They decide not to. And XTC pull out. Maybe the call is going to be Rosh. The pings do come out. I think Jappa realizes they may actually decide to jump into Rosh. Is it going to be the Rosh call?
Haunt is available, but the Darkseer is down. So I think maybe they get another pick-off again on the Darkseer, another pick-off on the Hunter, and, well, possibly the Pudge, because you don't want someone hooking you out of Rosh either. Then they can go for the Rosh. Then they can actually viably take Rosh without having any worries here. But it must be said, TKC, another big worry for a Rosh fight, since, you know, that Sonic Wave is not fun to deal with, especially with the Veil of Discord coming up here. But pure magic, well, not pure, sorry, pure magic. It is a pure damage, so...
BKBs mean
rip. Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. But another huge item coming up here very, very soon. Actually, in one creep wave, there we go. It's going to be Deppy on that all-important Orchid.
This is going to be a big item here for Deppy to actually pick up. I mean, that means Queen of Pain can't blink. Fury can't do anything. Darkseer can't surge away. And he can pretty much pick off anyone if they are alone. And it's a devastating pickup here for the side of XD. The question is it going to be enough? They do in the mid lane though. TKC does spot out Dota and Die. They drop the sentry. Deppy jumps in. The tree ulties. Rockley finds the hook. And Fury does still eventually go down. Droll trying to work onto Rockley. And he's going to be brought down. In the meantime, in the backline, Hunter's still trying to find Doom Bunny. Maybe he can walk away with something. He has been disarmed. And that is a devastation. The root does come out. Hunter's going to be held in place. Can they get the call off? They do. Deppy jumps in. They can't complete the cutting blade, but the Helix will be good enough. And they do rip. 4 players here for the side of XD.
Yeah, quick
XTC untouched. And now, if they don't rush now.
Oh, they have to now. Now they've got there's no other play to make. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, the respawn timing is going to be way too quick for them to push. So rush is the only viable option here. But I must say that fight, them focusing down TKC first. I mean, Crystal Maiden just dying to the burst damage around her. I mean, Rock Lee tried to save her life, but I mean, she just died to the damage over time over here. But yeah, definitely a good idea to go for that TKC first. And the Orchid really helped them get that kill. Very well played there. And of course, Hunter, not having that Manta, cannot dodge the route from the Fortune's End. There's nothing much you can do.
I mean, so the question is, like, what do you do at this point in time? XT had a great start, and they looked very confident, looked very strong in the early parts of the game. All of a sudden, XTC starting to catch up. What is it that is now starting to be the pain in the side of XD? Is it the mobility coming out from the Storm Spirit? Is he just able to be everywhere?
I honestly think that XTC...
Is it the blinks from the axe? Is it the Shadow Blade from the Troll? What is it that is
I think it's the combination of things. I think it's the combination of all of this. But the Storm Spirit...
Fury has been spotted, and he gets punished immediately. They saw the Frostbite being used. The ball comes in, Skynet jumps in, and wow, Fury...
Look, with 25 Bloodstone charges, I mean, I think since the Bloodstone as well, especially for Deppy, he's going to have a much larger mana pool, which means he's going to be able to fight more and do more in the team fight. It's really serving them well. The Oracle plays have been brilliant. The 4 staffs have been helping with the root hook. It really has. It's saved a few people so far. Tree, obviously, always good. The Solar Crest now up on him has also helped quite a bit. Of course, that Orchid, I mean, you saw how easily it took care of TKC. It's going to force him to get Lincolns, and it's actually now on his sass straight after that fight. And, of course, Axe Call, he's been given a little bit more space now. A little bit more. And he's
the Rod of Atos misses the hook, catches out the creep, and it wasn't going to be able to be good enough.
Unfortunately.
You've been given a second life, Deppy.
It's definitely a combination of all of these things that have allowed XTC to now gain the advantage back. But I honestly think they weren't always that far behind. I mean, they were maybe 2,000 gold behind at one stage, but that's really insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Hunter now getting caught out here.
Deppy, he wants to make some action happen. We do have DotA2 jumping in there, drops his ult, and kills down Hunter. He is down for the count. I mean, has he even been able to pick up his his Radiance? He has. Okay, so he has got his Radiance.
Finally, yes.
Finally, but I mean, well, maybe a little bit too late.
For me, I feel like rushing Radiance is possibly the worst thing you could do here because, yes, it cancels out the blinks, but you've got roots to worry about. You've got Fortune's End. I mean, go for that Blade Mail, go for that Manta Style, go for the Diffusal Blade, those type of items. I mean, Radiance for me is a very... It is a nice item on Spectre, but, I mean, rushing that sometimes is not always the best idea. You need the escape. You sometimes need more of the tankiness on your team. You don't always have to go for the Radiance Rush. And I feel like this game was just not the game that he shouldn't have done that with. I don't know, because he spent so long trying to get the Radiance that he got caught out because he couldn't get out on his own.
Look, a point of me agrees and a point of me disagrees. I mean, going for the Vanguard Diff Blade build would have done really well. I would have said Manta would have punished Deppy a lot more. I mean, having that Diff Blade eating through his mana would have been able to have limited his mobility in team fights. I mean, he's pretty much got his entire mana pool to do whatever the hell he wants to do. So the Diff Blade may have helped a bit more. Also doing a little bit of damage to the Oracle could have also helped out. But XTC feeling very confident at the moment. They're pushing down the second tier tower. Immediate ball coming into the bot lane. Deppy finds out Hunter. Skynet in vicinity has got the Blade Mail activated. The dunk comes in and Hunter bites the dust. Yeah. And all they're doing is punishing the Hunter. In the mid lane though, Rock Lee finds the hook. The back wall's going to be good. The screen comes out, immediately blinks back. But Rock Lee taking a huge amount of damage. But an uninterrupted CM Alti doing some decent work here. Skynet goes down. Aegis is now off the deck. Deppy's going to try and get out of there. Two down for the side of XTC. 2 down for the side of XD. Deppy trying to make some magic happen here, and TKC pays with his life, and they can't do enough to bring down Deppy. They lose Fury. Can he bring down Jappa? They do have the buyback from TKC. Can they pick up the kill onto Deppy? TKC, do you jump in? The question is, do you make it happen?
I don't think so, not with the Orchid available.
And Deppy decides, I'm going in. And that is a dieback triple kill coming out from Adestam. And now Hunter back into the game. Darkseer buys back. Jappa, can you do enough to actually stop the side? Adestam clears out the tier 3.
And get the whole lot of
Deppy
dodge.
gets the flip out.
And look at the luck here. There's a regen rune spawning at the bottom there. Whoever sees that is just going to be like, hey, regen.
Wow.
Why not? But honestly, I must say, Deppy, on that Storm Spirit, he didn't actually fall down. He denied himself when he was on very low HP with the Aegis.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I thought he disappeared.
Yeah, and giving extra HP, obviously, to this Oracle and, of course, the Troll Warlord, which gave them time to actually get out and reset. When he did respawn, they were ready to go again. Very, very, very good play coming out from Deppy.
Well, okay, so with all of that all said and done, still sitting with 32 Bloodstone charges. Yeah. I mean, this guy is absolutely ridiculously farmed. Now
he's out of hand at the moment.
Now he's got queued up his Shivers Guard. Do you maybe rather look at maybe a Bloodthorn, or are you happy with the Shivers? I mean, it slows down the attack, but there's not many right-clicking heroes. You do have the Spectre, but they can kind of deal with him really well. In the meantime, though, they do find out Jappa. Big ball in here from Deppy. Paul's going to be good. Blade Mail is out, and Jappa, I mean, he is meeting his maker.
For me, look here. For me, the Spectre, yes. Radiance Rush, lovely. It is able you to farm it, enables you to escalate a bit further, but when your team is struggling like this and you have no escape of your own, as I say that,
okay, well,
Deppy
instant duels coming out here for TKC. Hook's not actually connecting, and now the scream does come out. No one's hit the deck yet until now. Fury goes down. Can take TKC finish off the Storm Spirit. Quite a tanky little beauty. In the meantime, as we do lose Dota and Da, Adestam they do lose the axe. Not enough healing coming out. And Deppy trying to find more, but Hunter picking himself up a double kill. In the meantime, we do have Troll pushing out the bot lane. Can we go? But before we do, Adestam, he's going to try and get the pickup on to Rockley. He does get the break. He's not so tanky anymore. It is now actually recharging out. BKB's out. This member's going to be good, but Deppy's in the vicinity. Does destroy Rockley. And now Adestam looking to find more. They're going to take down the bottom lane of Rex, even with backdoor protection. And is it going to be enough?
I don't think they do this. I think they get out now. TKC can easily kill off Deppy here.
Well, and that's going to be a TP out here for the side of XTC. They decide to pull out. Can we get a replay on that previous little team fight in the bot lane? There we have it. They're trying to push high ground. Skynet not going to be able to be hooked out here from Rock Lee. Big scream coming out, but the Yule Scepter denying that damage taken there by Axe. And we see the Storm Spirit trying to go down there. They can't get it down from TKC. And now Axe taking a huge amount of damage as Doom Bunny couldn't actually heal him up enough to stay alive. And that was super unfortunate there for XTC. But it held, they held, XD held, and the longer this game goes on like this, the more time XD have to get back into this game.
Definitely, it falls more into the Spectre's favor here. But it must be said, I still would have maybe gone for Manta Blade Mail, or at least Blade Mail then Radiance, or Manta then Radiance. You know, something like, I know you don't normally get Manta before, but just to dispel some of the roots, some of the disables, he maybe wouldn't have died so much.
You know, he
Or
probably thought that he could get. You see, maybe he had a good start in the beginning, so he's thinking, okay, well,
okay, I can rush Radiance.
I can quickly rush it because I'm actually doing really well, and then XTC just decide no.
Or at least a Blade Mail to discourage them from keeping on hunting him.
Smoke, bro, smoke though. They try to find the pickup onto TKC. They do. The root does come out. He yules himself out. The tree ulti comes down. TKC going to be able to survive with the Guardian Greaves being popped out, but Deppy comes in. They lose the tree though. Deppy trying to get some work done here onto Rock Lee. He goes down. Adestam absolutely being a nightmare here. Fury goes down. 3 down here for the side of XD. 1 down here for the side of XTC. Tree is down. This is opening up the mid lane here for the side of XTC. They're going to take distracts.
This is going to open up a lot more. This is going to open up 2 Raxes at least, I think. At least.
Does Fury buy back over here? They do not have TKC online. Hunter's not available. I mean, this is a very, very hard position here for XD.
Yeah.
If XD can't make it back, this is going to be meaning that XD is going to be jumping themselves into the lower brackets. It's going to hurt, it's going to burn, but it's going to be done. XTC.
I feel so sorry for Jappa. He's had such a rough game on this Darkseer, and the last 2 vacuum walls have actually been really, really good. It's just not doing anything.
It's
a hard one for him.
Well, this is going to be trying to be Megas. They do try and drop the root. The hook is going to be good. And Rock Lee finds a hook eventually out into Skynet. In the backlines, though, we do have Fury trying to do something here to the Storm Spirit. Not going to happen out. Doom Bunny, he's now looking to get himself out of there. Skynet, he does go down eventually. The False Promise not helping him out at all. And the Yules does come out. Doom Bunny, I don't think there's much he can do here. He's going to try and heal himself through it. Not going to happen, even with the help of his friend Dota and Die. And they defend with 1 Rax remaining. The ranged Rax not going to heal up. Even a little bit of a backdoor. And the hopes and dreams of Exdee just get harder to see themselves in the final.
I respect that, though. Like, they don't just give up and call GG. They really, really want this. And, you know, they don't want to be facing the loser bracket for a second day in a row. So, you know what? They're going to try their utmost best to keep in this game. They've still got that 1 ranged barracks left. It's not quite yet Mega Creeps. They've got the Spectre. There is hope. They just need to not be out of position. And this might be the pick-off they really do need to maybe make something happen here.
Well, Dota and Die gets spotted out pretty easily, even with this Observer Ward being a present here for them. It would be great if they can actually find something else. The ping's coming for Rosh. He is back. That could be the next call. But Deppy, he's in the vicinity and he's looking absolutely devastating at the moment. He's got about 1 minute and 5 seconds cooldown on his suicide.
Here he goes
into
again.
3. Throws down his Shiver's Guard. GG boots do pop out. He's dancing around the map like an absolute lunatic. Decides to turn onto Rock Lee. After that, Adistam trying to find the kill onto Jappy. He does. And now Deppy, he's running around the map like an absolute lunatic. Tries to find the kill onto Fury. And Adistam, he's the one that's going to be the one to pick it up. In the meantime, Hunter, he's going to get Jules up. Dota, Doom Bunny going to get that root off. He gets it down. Deppy, does he have enough mana to jump up the hill? Not going to be necessary as they destroy Hunter. Only TKC alive here for the side of XD.
That is an
no
ambitious
buybacks.
TP. That is an ambitious TP. He had to try, though. He really did. I mean, the chance that the troll's going to bash you is extremely high. Fortune's End was on cooldown, so, I mean, he could try his luck there. But, I mean, Deppy also there to, you know, make something happen in the form of the Electric Vortex. It's just really unfortunate.
Big ball coming in here. He does find TKC, blows him up, and the hook not going to be able to connect onto Deppy, and that is it. Mega Creeps are out, and the dreams and the hopes of XD are slowly dwindling away as the Mega Creeps do come out. XTC looking really strong at the moment. And the throne is slowly making itself available. A creep in the way. And unfortunately, Rockley couldn't get the hook off. But the tier 4s are down. Fury not giving up, jumping in there, has been silenced out. Can't do anything, trying to get that ulti off. He just wishes and prays. Not going to be good enough as XTC smash down the Ancient. And that is it. Done, dusted. XTC take this game 2-0. Absolutely amazing play coming out from XTC.
I'm just wondering if Adastam actually finished his rapier, because he was trying to build it.
Well, let's take a look at item progressions really quickly. And did he manage to pick it up? He did.
Did he? Last moment. Yay.
With a minute to go. So stats, Divine Rapiers purchased in the Masters Sargon.
It's been 2 now.
It's been 2.
Been 2.
So, yeah, it's some amazing plays coming out here for the side of XTC, doing really well. Let's take a quick look at the KD and A's. Rock Lee sitting 9 and 12, expected a little bit of a better performance with that rod of ATOS. Absolutely nightmare to deal with.
Yeah.
TKC with a positive KD, a little bit positive, not having a big performance as he did yesterday. But looking at the side of XTC, blowing our minds. Adistam sitting with 13 and 4 with 19 assists. Deppy sitting with 13 and 4 with 23 assists. Adistam sitting with a little bit of a high net worth. Looking at the damage though,
Yeah,
I mean, wow. Deppy, 40k damage.
Well,
Adistam
almost, yeah.
sitting with 25.
That's pretty much insane. But you wouldn't expect to see anything less from a Storm Spirit, especially at this time with those items. I mean, Storm Spirit does an immense amount of damage. And, you know, getting those Bloodstone denies off really did help his team sustain just a little bit longer. He got 2 orphan team fights. Very, very well played. And it also denies XP and, of course, the gold to the enemy team. But I must say, Fury, Rockley, TKC, they played their hearts out. And They really did try and make something happen for the team. It's just Hunter and I mean Juppert was just having such a horrible game. His vacuum walls in the team fights were really great, but I mean it was just dealt with so quickly.
Yeah, there was just nothing that
Too
could
mobile.
be done. I mean, so the Darksia's ban and picks have absolutely been through the roof, and I don't think any positive results for the Darksia just yet. So when we jump to the panel, perhaps they can actually maybe give us a rundown and see how successful the Darksia has actually been. I don't see it being that massive big player that would hope so.
I mean, honestly, for me, I think XTC.
That's a very good intro.
Well, I think Devin,
Hi,
Drain,
guys.
Scarpy, what did you think of that game? We are crossed over to you. You can hear us. We can hear you. Tell us what you thought of that game.
Can I tell you what I think of that game?
Dude.
You know what I think of that game? I think revenge is a dish best served cold. Production friends, please mute the casters. So good, so good. Interesting enough, actually, I don't know what the current stats are for Doxy. I think we'll check in on that a bit later.
Yeah.
But it is, in fact, on the first day, it was picked and banned. It was at a pick and ban percentage of 100%, right? And it appeared 3 times, and it lost 3 times. So I don't think it's doing particularly well in the tournament as far as win percentage goes, but still getting a lot of love. I kind of feel that it's a little unfair because, like, we spoke about it before the game, that there was the containment zone, the infected, right? Very
job.
good, very good.
Yeah, I like it.
Before the draft, we spoke a little bit about maybe Japa not getting anything to pull up with him, so it's almost like a little bit of a waste of the Darks in some ways. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I think just to say what you said, with also not a lot of support on this Dogs here, but not enough wins, well, no wins at all. I think they're committed to show the difference. Like, you know, we can play Dogs here and we can win with this hero. And I think Exdee also had a very good team with it, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. And that Pudge as well. Quinn of Pen did really good, though.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some time where we thought that XT might be taking us to a game 3. Scott, do you think it was looking good for them?
Yeah, I think when we had a peek early into the game, we were saying, well, this is a completely different team from game 1. Game 1 seemed very one-sided in a sense. Game 2, all of a sudden, they started having some sort of a change in the laning stages that looked really good for them. So I don't know. I suppose like we thought that we could go into a game 3, but I suppose we underestimated the Stam and the Depi potential. I mean, they just caught up so quickly at a stage.
I mean, it bodes very well for them. Of course, this does mean that XD will find their way in the lower bracket, and I believe they're playing its APG.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think that's nice. That's going to be a nice game. Obviously, that's actually up next. So what that does mean is we're going to take a bit of a break, let the players catch a bit of, I would say sun, but it's nighttime now, so get some moonlight, and then we'll be back a little bit later to bring that one. So it'll be about a 30-minute break, guys. Obviously, we'll see you then. We'll pick up a little bit earlier with the panel. Yeah. Until then, cheers and goodbye.
Bye.